I'll learn my buttons. One of these days, I'm gonna learn the buttons. One of them. It's not today, but one of them. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. I'm stuck. Ugh. Ugh. Come on, chair. Come on. Carpet wheels. I hope you're all doing well. Good morning. That's loud. Get out of here. Glut and I are in the future. That's true. I mean, well, I guess East Coast isn't morning anymore. Good day zone to you. I hope you're all doing well. I cleaned my bong as well. I saw you all clean your bongs, and I'm very fucking proud of you. Happy Faded Friday. I have a sad today, and I don't know why, fruit fly. So I'm sorry if I seem sad. I think winter's getting to me. I fucking hate this. Dude, Viata, did you guys get slammed? Same though. Boo on that. Boo on that shit. My light is weird. I feel like it's glaring me in the eye. What's wrong with you today? What's wrong with you, bitch? Are you different? No? Sorry. Anyways. I hope you're all doing well. Good morning. It's only brutally cold today. It is painful. I mean, it's any cold. I just bitch about it too much. I feel like it happens to me every year my whole life. Winter hits, I bitch about it. It makes me sad. Rinse, repeat. I just hate it. I'm so like, yeah. I don't want to bitch about it all day. I hate winter. I hate being cold. I hate this shit. And it's like, it won't stop being shitty. Like, if it could just die, that'd be great. Sorry, whoa, there's the sun. Hello. The sun came out. Cute animals should help with sads, hopefully. Man, it's not like, man, I hate talking about this shit because I don't like bringing people down. But like for months, I've just been waking up crying. Like, I wake up and realize reality is still what it is, and I get real sad. And I'm so tired of it. My mic won't stay. Stay, you bastard. We're not fighting today. This isn't the day to fight. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Stop. I know. And it's just like I wake up and it's like instantaneously I just realize I have to, like, the first hour of my day is just getting not cold. Like just putting on 50 layers of clothing so I don't feel like shit. And I get really depressed about it. Like I'm just like I could just stay in bed and not deal with all of that. And it sucks. Thunderstorms and high winds. Yeah, I think everybody's getting slammed with some fucking nasty weather this week because it says it's going to be negative degrees all week and we have snow on the horizon and shit. It sucks. I do, Viata. Honestly, like, I go out as much as I possibly can, but it's like a combination of, I go out because I know I need the vitamin D, but I'll cry if I'm outside for more than 5 minutes because the pain of the cold is hurting so bad. So I stand in a window and hope for the best. I would like to be slammed, please. Barry, aren't you slammed daily? That's what I do. I mean, I take vitamin D, I do all that. It's like, I know there's... No, Gilles, what?
567 tip $25.
Thank you for donating to our charity, you silly fuck. I appreciate you. I know there's, sad, seasonally affected depression. That's like a real thing. I don't think I have that. I have depression over just how exhausting it is to exist in the winter for me. Like, I'm tired. You know? Like, I was saying this yesterday, but if I could just have, like, even just one day where the ambient temperature was not an issue, like, I just didn't even realize it was there, would be heaven for me. I hate it. Mishy, I've actually been doing that, and it's actually been kind of sad. Like, not sad, but I've been, going through, like, I really like one of my favorite websites to get seeds off of. It's called Baker Creek Nursery or something like that, Baker Creek Seeds. But they do all, um, what's the word? Heirloom seeds. It's all heirloom. Like, they specialize in bringing back heirloom varieties, like discovering ancient varieties of fruits and vegetables and stuff. Are they bad? Do they have stories? So, seriously, this is where I'm curious because normally I shop them And I like the idea of growing heirloom stuff, but their stock this year is pathetic, and so is their supply. Like, I've just it's kind of like, I get excited and I'm like, "I'm gonna plant my garden," and I start looking at it and I'm like, "You have nothing, I hate this." And I just stop looking because that's normally where I go. Do you guys have suggestions? Oh, the good stories. I thought you meant, like, problematic stories. I was like, "Good God." I mean, me too. They're just such a like, I think it's too early because like, I was looking at, garlic, potatoes, stuff that is kinda tubers, and I don't think they don't ship them until, like, spring, so they're not even in stock on their website yet. Portland's bracing for 2 to 10 inches of snow ice. Dude, you guys are gonna be fucked. New drinking game for the week. For everyone in the US, for everyone in the US, take a shot every time your weather person says polar vortex during this week. I can't remember the last time I listened to a weather person. I hope honestly, Kel, I hope people tip big because it's shitty. Let me see if it'll load, sheepy. We'll see. Good morning, Slipsis. I hope you're doing well, honey bean. I think I know Matt Berry. That sounds really familiar. I think I know who that is. That sounds so familiar. I think I know Matt Berry. I'm gonna let it. Oh, it's autoplaying. Can you just not? It won't buffer if it autoplays. Fuck. Ugh. Yeah, I haven't watched a weather forecast in so fucking long. Like I honestly, the only ones I've seen are like the funny ones where the weather forecasters fuck up and they end up a meme. I just, I don't remember the last time I looked at them. You can plant garlic and potatoes yourself. I know I wanted to get some cool garlic. Like, I don't, no one, like, it's not a huge agriculture state in Colorado. So that's one of the weirdest things living here. The produce in Colorado is horrific. I've never lived anywhere in my life that doesn't produce its own produce. And the produce here is not only dummy expensive, it's shitty. So it's like you go to the store, they're not going to have anything cool. Whereas if you go, I know I am. Well, it's hipster, but also like it's gluttony. um, so like, how a normal garlic clove is like, I don't know, like this big or whatever. So if you look at heirloom varieties, they have garlic cloves that get this big, like elephant garlic cloves. And honestly, I'm that person that's like, if the recipe calls for 1 clove, you mean 10, right? Like, who the fuck wastes their time on 1 garlic clove? So I'm thinking, like, if I can get these chonky garlic fuckers, 1 garlic clove will maybe cut it. It's the weirdness of them that I like growing. Last year, I did grow potatoes. Like, we bought some potatoes. They grew eyes, and we planted them in the garden. And I ate my own potatoes. It was pretty exciting. But those were literally just from the store. That's what someone was saying. Portland's gonna get slammed. Hardneck. I think I saw hardneck. That's one of the most famous ones that they, like, braid together to dry them, I think. I want them elephant garlics, mhm, and, like, the first time I ever shopped off of, Baker Creek Seeds, I grew this was when I was living in Maryland, you guys might remember this because I was streaming at the time, but I planted this tomato plant, it was called a black crim, I think, and it's a blue tomato, like, they're, like, black, the tomatoes, they're really, really cool looking, but they're black streaked, and they've got, like, red striations in them, and they grow, I mean, bigger than your hand, but I didn't realize the plant was gonna grow that big. I literally had to I had to buy an arbor and drape the plants over the arbor because they grew 9 feet tall, but the tomatoes were just epic, and you don't get that from something you're gonna buy at Lowe's, like, just like your average tomato plant or whatever, you know? Like, I grew a start tomato plant from Home Depot or something last year just as, like, an experiment to see if it would grow in my yard, and I got 2 tomatoes. Fruit fly, I'm gonna kill you. A clove, a bunch. Exactly. Who wastes their time? You should look for a seed exchange, but for your area. I have one that I used, Southern Seed Exchange. Let me see if I can find something similar. Dude, that'd be sick. I did save a bunch of seeds from last year. Zach actually found them recently and almost threw them away, almost killed him. But like, because we're in the process of like trying to establish our yard, like it was just weeds and dirt. You guys know it was a mud pit of nothing for the last 4 years. We've just started establishing grass and stuff in the yard. And so there's no nutrition. Like the yard is just silt. So I've been adding like I mean, my back looked amazing last summer from just wheelbarrowing hundreds of pounds of mulch all over my yard and mulching it into the dirt and shit like that. So I'm really excited to actually grow shit, but I did poppies last year. I bought like a mix. I can't remember what it was called. There was a name to it. Like, it was all the same species of poppy, but it was every color you can imagine. So I planted those all over, and then I did marigolds. I love marigolds, all of them. I would literally just have a garden of marigolds. I don't know. I'm just obsessed. But I plucked all the seeds and shit off of them, and I've got them in a bowl. And Zach almost tossed them. He thought it was garbage. I was like, I will slay you. Do you? No. I think he thought I was trying to make drugs because it was just a bowl of poppy heads. Good morning, boy. Well, I hope you're doing well, honey bean. Elephant garlic is more mild though. I don't think it's like actually called elephant garlic, but it was huge. It was a big garlic, but like you know how elephant garlic the cloves are literally like the size of a normal garlic. It didn't look like that. It still had normal size cloves, but the fucking thing was huge and it had like purple stripes on the side. I don't remember the species, but they were huge. I mean, they're cool. It's fun to grow fun shit. It's basically a perennial because it makes so many babies on the stalks. Yeah. I want to test and see how flavorful the big ones are first, at least. For the huge fruits, they have less taste than the tiny ones. So in my experience, the huge, like the big, at least the black crims, they were super fucking tasty. The biggest difference I've noticed between growing a tomato yourself and buying them at the store, because like growing up, I mean, for like 15 years of my life, I would straight up say I hate tomatoes. Do not put them on anything I want because I'd only had fucking store bought ones. And they're just like an empty water bag. I feel like they're just like jelly shit, you know? Whereas if you grow them yourself, there's none of that jelly inside. Like I don't know what else to call it, but it's all like it's actually tomato flesh. Like it's a solid tomato. It's not like a squishy water balloon. And I think the flavor tends to come from the flesh, like the flesh, and not so much the goo. So the less goo, it's so gross to say goo, but you know what I mean. Like the tomato mush. Snow is making noise. Pasta ideas. Good morning, October. I hope you're doing well, honey bean. Yes, I have some gorgeous red poppies that'll come up near a garage every year so far. I had red ones, and then one of my favorites that came out of this like mix that I grew, they were like dusty, almost gray. Like they were like gray purple. Oh, they looked like I don't it's fruit. There's always one fruit fly that's just haunting me, and I don't know how. Um, they were like this dusty purple color. They reminded me of like Victorian funeral or something. I don't know, but they were such a pretty color. I tried preserving them, but I couldn't. My zone. I think I'm 5A B. I believe. Colorado's weird because we're not the range. And so if you like it's hard. Like if I Google, best plants to grow in Colorado, it'll be the range because that's the vast majority of the state is the east side of the state that looks just like Kansas. We are not the range though. We're like 5AB, I think. I'm only here for this link. Hello and so long. Bye knives. Yeah, the dark purple or even the red garlic is the spiciest garlics in my experience. It's a purple one. Yep, and I saw it on Baker Creek, but it's not for sale yet, but I want them. Scott and Bree did garlic last year, and they gave me a bunch of it, and it was so fucking tasty. I had the same stance on tomatoes. Come to find out, I just don't like them in a sandwich. Anything else is fine. Same. Yeah, I remember the first time I ever ate a tomato and realized like, oh shit, I might like tomatoes. I was working at Lowe's, and there was a guy that worked there, just this old retired man who loved to garden at home. And I'm not fucking with you. He brought in like a stainless steel bowl that was this big, mounded with little yellow. They were like cherry tomatoes, but they were like gourd shaped, like teardrop shaped. And he just put them in the break room. I mean, I must have been hundreds, if not 1,000 little tomatoes in this bowl. It was so many. And everybody was just eating them, like pulling them like candy. And I was like, you know what? I'll try everything. It was literally like candy. It was like eating berries. They were so sweet and flavorful. It was dumb. And I was like, oh shit, I've been fucked on tomatoes. What's going on here? And then I figured it out. Raw fresh from the garden, they're still slimy and kind of too tart for me. Give me all the cooked ones though. I totally get that. It textures, totally understand. I don't like eggplant. I've never like the only way I've ever had an eggplant in something that I enjoyed because the weird texture is baba ganoush. Baba ganoush is fucking delicious. I've made it on my own. It's so tasty. But eggplant, it's like eating quick cooked foam. I just don't understand the point. It's not, it's like the texture of it is foam to me. Like a weird piece of boiled foam. You worked at Lowe's? Shut up. I worked there for 7 years. I was one of those people, and you're probably the same because I think all Lowe's function this way, but I worked in every department. Pretty much. Like, I was that person that they were like, "Hey, we're short in paint. Grab Katie." Everywhere. Happy Friday, Luna. Good morning. Our zone has changed. Oh, shit. When we first moved here 7 years ago, we were 4B. Now we're 5A. Climate change isn't real. Viata, stop pretending. I plant garlic by Thanksgiving. I'm zone B. See, I didn't plant. I did kale and shit in the winter, which is still growing, which is crazy. Fruit flies haunting me. I've never had eggplant curry. Katie has a way of talking that you forget what you were going to say. I'm so sorry. My bad. You might, well, should we cheers? Where's my bowl? I cleaned my bong as much as I could, with water. No, I worked there for 7 years and then went to a hospital. What the fuck? You probably have some of the best stories. Some of my favorite moments at Lowe's were when customers would ask for a man. Those were my favorite moments. Come in, tell me their whole story. Literally, like, hey, how can I help you today? All right, here's my project. Spend 20 minutes telling me about their project and look me in the eye. Do you have any men that can help me? Ugh. Yeah. That's my ugh. Okay, I've got a couple of these. Let's see. I think Sheepy's buffered. Stop it. Nausea, oh my god. Avatar: The Last Airbender casts original voice actor to play Cabbage Merchant. The Return of the King. Wait. Have they cast Uncle Iroh? Wait. I'm gonna cry, huh? I have a feeling they're gonna fucking hit this hard. Who'd they cast as Uncle Iroh? Yep, I am. Yep, yep. I can't listen to the what is it? Leaves on the Grass or whatever the song Iroh. I can't. I'm getting sick chills even thinking about it. I can't. No, no, Katie, no. Listen to the Nine Inch Nails. Oh my god, it's so bad. No. Oh my god. Good morning, Kieran. I hope you're doing well. Ooh, Robo, let me grab. I've got a bunch of things buffering. They did you a favor not forcing you to deal with their BS, dude. Word on that though. No shit. That used to happen all the fucking time. I mean, there's so many people out there that go to a hardware store and get really appalled that a woman works there. And that link did weird things. Oh, nuh-uh. Canada's Paul Sun Hyung Lee. I'm really hoping I say that right. Sun Hyung Lee to play Uncle Iroh in Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm excited and nervous. I'm scared for this movie. We all know what Shamalama Ding Dong did to it. I started with stalking on Night Crew, then worked in paint, home decor, good times, hard same. Do you ever dream about cutting blinds? Or maybe fantasize about slapping the children that are breaking all your display blinds? Because, I mean, I literally worked at Lowe's so long ago, and there are families that I could still explain exactly what they look like and exactly who they were because of the way their children acted. I'm so glad. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, but like, you get it. It was a life, man. Yeah, they're Music Man. They're doing a live action, and that's what Najeel just gave us. There is. So this is what we were looking at. Literally the Cabbage Merchant is going to be played by the actual voice actor Cabbage Merchant, and I immediately went, "Oh my god, who's Uncle Iroh? This is going to be Uncle Iroh." And I think I know this guy. What is this guy in? He's so familiar looking to me. What is he in? I'm really bad with names. I'd never. Shut up, Sheepy. Sheepy, do you ever find yourself like just in a moment, you'll just like think about a character from a show you DM'd or you were in or something and just wonder where they're at, and then you have to stop and realize it's not a real thing? Because I do that a lot. Like I'm like I'll think of like a show I was in and think of it like it was a book I was reading and be like, did I not finish it? Oh my god, that was Katie. Tales from Bossing Say. There is no war in Bossing Say. Oh, it's a series. Thank fuck. So it's gonna be better then already. Cutting blinds. I mean, honestly, boy, will like the number one way I got people to special order blinds was because I hated cutting them so bad. That was what drove my sales. People would come in and be like, "Yeah, I want some wood slat blinds cut," and I'd be like, "Do you, or do you want to special order them? Because like, please, please." He's the one Korean store owner. He's in Mandalorian. I mean, I can hear his name, his voice, and I just cannot place him. He was an X-wing pilot in Star Wars. Maybe that's where he was in Ahsoka. I don't remember him in his. I mean, I didn't like Ahsoka though. Sadly, cocky. Thank you for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving a fucking anus swings for 48 months. Holy shit. Oh, Kim's Convenience. That's where I know him. Motherfucking Kim. You know what? That was really sad that show didn't get renewed. Kim's Convenience was fucking good. I was pissed. Like, I really thought it was going to get renewed. Like, people loved it. Yeah, let's cheers. Where's my lighter? Well, I mean, boy, Will, wasn't that kind of the way of Lowe's? I feel like that kind of established who I am as a person because Lowe's was like, "Do you have the confidence to just blindly figure it out?" No blind pun intended. And you'd be like, are you going to fire me if I don't?" Okay. And you just had to figure it out. And I just do that in life now. I've stopped expecting people to explain to me how to do something, and I'm just like, I guess I'll figure that out. Special ordering was a nightmare. No shit. One winter, I was a student in school, literally like doing clinicals and shit. So I was only working weekends, and I tripled the special order sales of the full-time special order specialist in blinds because I hated cutting them so bad. I I was a great salesperson and I hated it. Trouble, it was a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. So essentially like in order to go to Lowe's and buy blinds off the shelf that we're going to cut for you to custom fit your window, we have to assume you know how to measure your fucking window. And that sucks cuz nobody knows how to measure their window. So, 9 times out of 10, you take this item off the shelf and cut it so now it's unusable and they bring it back and return it and say you cut it wrong cuz they measured wrong. But on top of that, the blind cutting machine was kind of a janky piece of shit. Like, it was literally a drawer you would pull out of the wall, and you would clamp these big old wooden blinds or, like, accordion blinds into it, and then a saw blade would just straight through it, and the ends would be all frayed and fucked. It was just like, no matter how hard you worked, you couldn't give them the best that you wanted to because the machine sucked. And, like, the way it is tricky the way you have to measure blinds. You have to measure, like, what is it, 4 times the inside of the window frame, and then you give us the smallest measurement. Because if you only measure where the blinds are gonna attach, 9 times out of 10, your house has settled and the window has moved a little bit. So when you try to lower your blind, it'll jam and not go all the way, and then they bring them back and return them, and we've lost hundreds of dollars. Like, those blinds are hundreds of dollars. It's crazy. I hated them. Whereas if you special order them, they're gonna be custom made and cut by a company. They look nice. They're not shitty. Like, we used to, like accordion blinds, cellular blinds. I don't know what the fuck you call them anymore. Cell blinds. Those ones, because they're material, literally, it would just be like dust and frayed fucking nasty on the ends. It looked just bad. It was like embarrassing, basically. But that was all I mean, we offered it, so we had to do it. Avatar trailer. Oh shit, let's buffer. Let's watch this one Sheepy gave me real quick before they crash, and I'll load that one. I love you, sober. It always feels like sacrilege to turn. Fuck. Matt Berry, dude. He's honestly in if you've never seen What We Do in the Shadows, the movie or the series, it's phenomenal. It's bar perfect. Just one of my favorite shows I've ever seen ever. He's one of the best characters in it. Like the season, I don't remember which season it was, but the season where he's raising baby Colin Robinson and it's just like him narrating in his journal how the boy is growing. I just weep. Bat! I can't. I fucking weep. It's such a is it season 4? God, it's so funny. That shit fucking murders me. Colin's amazing. They're all amazing. Dude, poison dart frogs are really cool. You know, they're really, really easy to take care of. Lots of people keep poison dart frogs as pets. Fun fact, they're not poisoned at all when you keep them as a pet. They're only poisoned because of what they eat in their natural habitat. Wild, right? So they're completely safe. Like, obviously, I mean, holding frogs is never advised. Holding amphibians in general, never advised. But, like, you don't have to worry about it. I know. Seriously, it's one of the biggest, uh, biggest, like, what would you say, categories in the, like, exotic hobby trade is poison dart frogs. They're stupid easy to take care of because they're super small. They require very little room. You can keep tons of them in one enclosure, and they eat fruit flies. It's crazy. Like, so many people have them. I don't. I have chubby frogs, but, like, they're every there's I look at them. I love to look at, like, Morph Market and shit like that. Morph Market's a place where, like, people like me sell baby frogs and stuff like that, that you bred on accident. But there's, like, imagine a color, they exist. Good morning, you scared me. Yeah, there's one God, I can't remember what it's called, but it's literally blue and bronze. I can't remember the species name, but the body is bronze. Like, it looks like antiqued bronze with blue spots. I mean, it's insane. There's so many different kinds, and there's all, like, different oh, man. It's a motherfucking Ravenclaw frog, no shit. That's exactly what it looks like. Literally. Yeah. The 50 rounds of QI, what's that? Dude, that has been suggested to me like, for weeks. What the fuck is going on with that? I have not clicked it ever. I think I saw a clip from that show one time where Trevor Noah's on it and he sings the Click song, and the lady who hosts it says, "You don't know me very well, but I'm on the turn." And it's fucking hilarious. That's all I know of that show ever, and I think I saw that clip 500 years ago. BBC Ghost? No, what is it? I don't know. Dude, bonobos are wild. They fuck wild. I mean, monkeys in general, right? They fuck a lot. Childhood obsession revived. I'm serious. Go to Morph Market and look at mantellas or poison dart frogs. You could literally scroll for the rest of your life. There's so many. It's never ending. There's so many. They're really, really cool. But I know a lot of people that take care of them. Allegedly, they're very easy to take care of. They don't need like a heat lamp or like, a basking spot, anything like that. Natural habitat. So what happens when he's around my pot? Hypnotoad? I kind of hope so. Small slimy pigeons? Kind of. It is. It's a funny show. I've just never seen it. And that one clip has been pushed to me so hard. Oh, shut up. Shut up, Danny. Shut the fuck up. Nuh-uh. Get out of my head. Dendrobates auratus. The Highland bronze. I'm literally going to pull it up right now. You beautiful angel fuck. Are they as cool as I think? I look at them all the time. I have plenty of animals. I'm in no need of another animal. However, look at this. I want to blow it up. Not blow it up. You know what I mean? My face is on it. It's under me. Damn it. Look at this frog. This is the one I was literally just talking about. Is that not one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen in your life? Like, it's unreal, the variety of poison dart frogs out there these days. But seriously, like, it's what they eat in the wild that makes their skin secrete a toxin that, natives would put on their arrowheads and use. That's why they're called poison arrow frogs. With the poison dart frogs, because they put the poison on darts. That's why they're called that. But they're completely benign in captivity. It's crazy. But, like, they look unreal. I know. This is what I'm saying, Seahorse. Like, I love animals. I just like to look at them all the time. But when you see shit like this, that's real. And it just, like, There are places in the world where you could be on a fucking casual walk and see that. Like, fuck off. Exact, Danny, thank you for confirming. I've never kept poison dart frogs, but I know people that have, and that's exactly what I said. They are like, what do you say? They're wicked sensitive, like deaf do not handle, but they're also wicked easy to keep. Exactly. That's what I would say about almost every amphibian in general. Like I have I don't know, I don't think my monitor can turn that far. But that's my frog enclosure. You can see one right there. Here's a little chubby fucker. Um I raised these guys from tadpoles. And they're my preciouses, but I've got my frogs. I'm good. Frogs are great, but there's like the only downside is, if you are obsessed, like if like me, if you become obsessed with an animal because you see it on social media and usually someone's handling it, I would never advise handling an amphibian. Like, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Danny, if you know more than me, which you probably do because you keep so many frogs, but and almost, if not all amphibians actually breathe through their skin. Like they respirate through their flesh. So literally anything on your hand will be soaked up into their body if you touch them, right? Something like that. It's fuck. I mean, it's like it's just not worth it, you know? Like my frogs are so dumb, they'll just try to eat my fingers. Like I have they're called dumpy frogs or chubby frogs, Australian chubby frogs, Australian dumpy frogs is what I have, and they're just literally half their body is a mouth and anything, they'll just try to eat it. They're so dumb, but I love them. Literally looks like a gemstone came alive and turned into a frog. There's so many. That one just always stands out to me because the fact it's bronze. Like the flesh of an animal is metallic, and that baffles me. For people who just like to have a tight terrariums and look at them, exactly. That's what I like. I mean, there's very few exotics, and by exotics I mean like, not a dog or a cat that want to be held, get enjoyment out of handling. Like most of them are creatures that hide in holes and have no want to, the reason I keep like geckos and my frogs is it's basically I view them like a fish tank, but there's no aquaticness. Like I don't have to deal with the aquatic side of it, which is stinky and water and pH shit. Like it's just I used to have fish tanks when I was in college and it's just exhausting. So they're like fish tanks minus all the water work, and it's the best. If you like beautiful creatures, go, bud. I know you're tattling on dad. If you like, wait. If you like beautiful creatures, you should look up an underwater snail, dude. I love, I love nudibranchs. Love. I'm obsessed. The school I went to was in the Pacific Northwest on the like in the Puget Sound, and because of that, my school specialized in marine biology. So lots of people went to my college for marine biology. I did not. I did chemistry, but I had to do a lot of biology classes, so there was a lot of overlap. And my school specializes in studying algae and sea snails, nudibranchs. And when I was in school, they actually discovered a nudibranch. You're probably aware of it. I think it's called like it's literally like a sheep nudibranch or something like that. But it lives off the coast of Oregon and it's fascinating. It's almost essentially become like immortal. So at the beginning of their life, they feed off of a certain type of algae. And then at a certain point in their life, that algae begins to flourish in their skin. And the algae starts to do photosynthesis through the sea slug's skin. And the sea slug, therefore, starts to feed off of the nutrition created by the photosynthesis and no longer has to eat. It becomes symbiotic with its food. It's crazy. Crazy. I mean, nature is fascinating. I love animals, man. I know. I'll show it to you. They actually are really cute. I think it's the sheep, not to be confused with sheepy. Uh, oh my God, sheepy. We watched it and cried. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Now we're just talking about animals because we're stuck on it. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. That was incredible. And I absolutely knew who Matt Berry was. Fucking What We Do in the Shadows. IT crowd. Nah, Sheepy, thank you for that. I needed that laugh today. That was easily one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like the animals and the narration combined. I hope you're doing well, money. Perfect people who just like, yep, exactly. It's not cheap at all to set up, but the But with bioactive terrariums with orchids and bromeliads, I didn't think they were too bad. But that being said, like, so if you want to set up, I'm in full support of bioactive. That's what I have on all my geckos and everything. I think the most cost efficient way is to go somewhere like Josh's Frogs, joshsfrogs.com. They sell like kits. It's not a kit to like create an entire terrarium, but you can go in and be like, I want a plant bundle for poison dart frogs. And it'll be like $15 for 7 plants. And they send them to you, and it's like bromeliads and whatever. And it's like it's everything that's, set up for them, but they're pretty darn cheap and they're all bare root. I did it one time. It was crazy. Like, it was really cool. I opened it all on stream, and it was all these beautiful bromeliads. That's actually how no shit. Like, this is how I got one of my frogs. So over here, I have my dumpy frogs. Across the room, I have another frog, Knives the bitch. Everyone's familiar with Knives the bitch. So I ordered these bromeliads, and in nature, this actually happens that frogs will climb a tree and lay their eggs in like a plant that holds water, that has like a pool of water in it, which is usually what bromeliads do. So when I got these bromeliads, there was literally like a jelly. It looked like a piece of like rolled up rubber cement stuck in the plant. It was a fucking frog egg. So I pull it out and I'm like, oh, and I put it in water and just like I had raised my chubby frogs before, so I knew how to raise frogs from tadpoles, but I didn't know what this was. I had no idea what I was going to get out of this egg, and it ended up being an African pixie frog, which, if you're unfamiliar with those, they are one of the largest frogs in the world when they're full grown. They have fangs. They are just a mouth. They're literally like a human Pac-Man, and they get like this big. Mine is this big right now. They grow pretty slow, but it was total accident. But that's how I got it. Was in one of those bromeliads. I think you know what's weird, Seahorse? They've Twitch has changed a lot of like you can say the word incel, but I can't call someone an incel in a derogatory way, even though it is describing a derogatory personality trait. And I think it's probably the same with Neanderthal. Like, people probably called each other it as an insult. That being said, I did 23andMe and I have Neanderthal DNA, so come at me. Let's go. I just learned how to say nudibranchs. Like nudibranchs, like I always thought nudibranches. I said nudibranch until I learned from the bio people. It looks like nudibranch, let's be honest. No one would assume that's nudibranch. The fuck? Pixie frogs are crazy, but they are, I mean, it's kind of like if you've ever seen a Pac-Man frog, they're kind of like that. They're not active. They basically like burrow themselves into the mud with their head sticking out and wait for food to come by. It's not the most interesting thing in the world. Whereas like poison dart frogs, dumpy frogs, they're active. They're tree frogs, so they climb and they stick and stuff. Whereas that guy basically half the year buries himself in the mud and creates like a mucus sac to hibernate in, and then the other half of the year just eats himself stupid. He'll never stop eating. Yeah, you can't say incel. Mm-mm. Nope, that's a new thing. I need a loadable, and I think grindweed. Okay, this is oh, it loaded. Yes. Okay, this is the sheep in school because they found one off the coast of Oregon, which I guess, according to this, they don't live there naturally. I didn't know that, but they found one off the coast of Oregon, and they were like, it doesn't have to eat, and we don't know why, and it's because it was living off of the the chloroform created by the photosynthesis of the algae living in its back. Like, imagine. Evolution is fucking cool. Animals just baffle me. Um, I was gonna hold on. Oh my god, you guys. Guess who has a sea slug video? I just wanted to pull up a video of them because if you've never seen, like, that one is very specifically unique. There are millions. I mean, I don't even know if there's millions, but there's a huge variety of sea slugs out there. They come in all sorts, shapes, and sizes. But the way they swim is fucking hilarious to me. They look like a loogie having a seizure in the ocean, and I really hope he shows that. But it's the Frank, so of course he will. Let me load a bowl first. Used to be butt slug. What the fuck? I need to know why. Butt slug? Butt slug. Okay, so that's how I explain to my patients what their poop should be like, a long, smooth banana slug, and that's where my brain went, and I just don't know what to do right now. Butt slug. Butt slug? Florida bestie. Okay, everything makes sense. It's fine. That's fine. Nope, that makes sense now. Dude, nicknames are weird. My nickname in high school, when in like just to the jock girls in sports and stuff, was Pope. Because I was so tall, it was like I had a Pope hat on. None of it made sense. I still don't know why it stuck, but every once in a while, some fucking high schooler friend of mine will post on my Facebook wall or something, "Happy birthday, Pope." And I'm like, where did that come from? Why did that stick? Nobody knows. Cheers. Honestly, Lizzie, I'm at the point where I don't know where there's not a hellhole. We just had another mass shooting in Colorado. I don't know what to do. This is look, we're not going to trauma dump today. I can't do it. I'm too sad. But I literally just read about this last night. There was a mass shooting. 12 people shot. One died at Top Golf. If you're unfamiliar with what Top Golf is, it's a golfing range. It's to golf. It's to go like hit drivers. What the fuck? I hate it. I hate this place. What's the poop scale? I think all slugs eat shit sometimes, don't they? I've always seen slugs on shit. I don't know. It's just I mean, it's horrible. It's constant though. I mean, it's constant. It's a multi-story. Yeah, they're huge, right? Top golfs are fucking huge. Oh, we need brain bleach. Perfect. Yes. I'm brain bleaching too. I got SADS. I can't go in. Oh my God. Rod. There's your baby. I love her. She's just a perfect little muppet. She's so beautiful. That's Zelda. That is Trick and Lilith's baby sister or cousin. One of the two. We're not sure, but she's beautiful. She's just the cutest baby in the whole world, and we love her. I need that. Oh, we do have the trailer. Let's watch that first because I think that's a lot shorter. The Frank's usually like 10 minutes ish. Hold on. Yeah, let's watch that first. Don't. It's only like a minute. Stop. Autoplay. It just. I know. I gotta stop. I'm not kidding you. It has started to play 4 times in the last 10 seconds. Just me moving it to a new screen, it played. Just me full screening it, it played. Why does the play button exist if just existing on the PC makes everything fucking play? What the fuck? Don't understand. It's going to I'm gonna my gravestone will say fuck autoplay. I swear to God. I mean, Zelda's an adorable baby. Stop it. I was literally just thinking to myself, like, is it gonna be Aang or is it gonna be Ong? Get out of my head. That's very scary. That's quite literally. I was like, emotions, happy. It looks really good. I mean, Uncle Iroh is gonna hit me every time. I can't take that. Remember who you are, and then the song's gonna start, and I'm gonna bawl my eyes out. I really like The Last Airbender. 2 of my geckos are named Iroh and Appa. I have an obsession. That made me really, like yeah, if they say the name wrong like, come on. If Shamalama Ding Dong taught us nothing, like, what do we do? Oh my God, Rod. Yeah. I mean, it like, beyond anger. It was like that, I wanted to set the world like, what the fuck is going on with that? Oh, my eyes. I actually did a painting of Momo for someone years ago. Someone commissioned me to do a painting of Momo for them. It was beautiful. I think that's how I found out about Airbender actually, because they asked me if I would paint them Momo, and I was like, "What's Momo?" And they were like, "Holy shit, you're a nerd and you don't know what this is." And then I watched the entire series, and then that fucking movie dropped, and I watched that, and I came to stream the next day and was like, "What was that?" I have a spider named Azula. Like, my biggest, most grand tarantula is named Azula. I have problems. I am so excited for that. Like, I'm really, really excited for that. The little I Mega Manta, right? I can't. What's the song? It's like "Leaves on the Grass" or something like that, or is it Little Soldier Boy? I cannot. That song rips my asshole out. Just hearing that, "Remember Who You Are," I'm gonna cry again. It hits me really hard. Why? "Leaves on the Vine," thank you. Fuck. A cartoon. I am 35 years old. If that doesn't say any something about anime, I don't know what does. Because Jesus Christ. I know. I love her tattoos so much. It's perfect. It's so beautiful. Ugh. Yeah, it's just. It hits so hard. That Uncle Iroh scene is fucking heartbreaking. Ugh. No, Katie, no! Drugs. I agree. I have no judgment. We're literally basically I'm restating what C-Town said. Animation's for adults. Like, I almost prefer animation at this point. Like, there's so much good voice acting, and there's just more possibilities, I think. I mean, obviously with animation, but a good recent example of that is that Blue Samurai show. If you haven't watched Blue Samurai on Netflix, oh my god. It's so good. So fucking good. But, like, if I was to tell my mom, like, watch this animated show because it's a really good story, she'd be like, "That's for children." She'd never watch it. Whereas, I don't know, I guess, like, dude, right? Oh, Blue Samurai is really good. It's really, really well done. Like, seriously, all the normal quips and shit that I have problems with are just not in it. Like, unnecessary romance angle, etc. I just can't stand that stuff. None of it. It's just a really good story of a strong female character like making her way, and she's flawed. Like it's really good. She's not perfect, it's just really good. I mean, Mech, I wouldn't pay for an entire streaming service to get Blue Samurai. That being said, on the record, yeah, you should totally get Netflix to watch Blue Samurai. Off the record, allegedly, learn how to torrent. But like, that's illegal. Don't do that. But you know, that's what I would do. There's too many. I mean, they've literally created what TV was back in like what I'm sure most of our parents were paying just hundreds of dollars for like packages of fucking TV channels just to have one show you want to watch. They're doing that now, and I refuse. I will not pay for more. Like, if I watched, there was a show. Oh God, what was it called? And I really liked it. But one season was like on Amazon Prime, and then when they advertise the next season, they're like on Paramount Plus. Go fuck yourself. Your show's not that good. There's no show in the world that's gonna get me to pay for an entire streaming platform just to continue your show. I'm an adult and I know how to torrent, motherfuckers. Stop acting like that's not real. Are you kidding? Like, it's just so tone deaf. What the fuck are you doing? Stop it. Stop it. I think when I got put on Netflix is when I finally watched it. It's really good. What makes it sad is the actor is singing to a younger portrait of himself, and the next day he passed away. Yeah, I'm gonna cry again. I can't. Ugh. Yeah, hero story, coming of age, Buddhist themes, amazing artwork. The art, oh my god, the animation style of Blue Samurai is off the fucking charts. It's like if I mean, it reminds me of something that's like Love, Death and Robots. Like it's just that really fine fucking stylized kind of animation. It's like if anime and Arcane had a baby. If you haven't watched Arcane, I mean obviously that's a phenomenal show too, but that kind of animation style, it's just gorgeous. It's so fucking well done. I was upset. I mean, oh, I cannot suggest Blue Samurai enough, but it's another really good example of an animated show that's written for adults. Absolutely. I mean, there is titties penises, balls, buttholes galore in this show. It is not for children. Please do not bring your toddlers to watch Blue Samurai. Peaches. That's all I have to say. Motherfucking peaches. I put Blue-Eyed Samurai on for back. I can read. I swear to God. I put Blue-Eyed Samurai on for background on Thanksgiving, and every single person who came over went home and watched the whole series. It's really. I mean, I binged it. Like I didn't sleep for a few nights because I just couldn't stop watching. It's such a good story. It's really good, and I'm pretty sure they've been greenlit for another season, right? I think. I think someone in stream told me that. I'm hoping that's true, but I'm pretty positive it was greenlit. I think so too. I think we talked about it in stream the night, like the day after I watched the whole thing. We talked about it and someone said they were greenlit. It's so good. Oh, Donna, I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna burp. I hope you're doing well, honeybean. Penises. Yeah, like there's a scene in a whorehouse and they do not hide anything, but like it's it's well done. It doesn't give me the fan servicey vibes that anime can sometimes give when they include nudity or adult themes. It's more a little real, which is why it reminds me a lot of Love, Death, and Robots. Love, Death, and Robots, a lot of episodes had like those kind of adult themes, but it didn't make it, like extra, I guess. I think it's funny when greenlit season of Witcher 5 before doing season 4 with Liam Hemsworth. I have not watched more than 2 episodes of Witcher and I don't understand. I tried so hard. It's so boring. Like Geralt is arguably one of the most boring main characters that have ever existed on the planet. Is it me? I know people love this series and I can't name a game that I have tried to play more than The Witcher. And I get so goddamn bored so fast. Just instantaneously fucking bored. I don't know. It's just bored like that. Geralt is so boring. But I understand it's got to be good. I know it's me because it's one of the most popular series ever, and it keeps getting greenlit for more like TV shows and shit like that. Like obviously it's good. I just don't get it. Like what a sack of yawn. When they wait. Artistic nudity is a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's for a reason. Exactly. It's not nudity for nudity's sake. It's because they're literally in a whorehouse or otherwise. Goblin Slayer. Is it anime? It's me, I know it is. Oh, I'm well aware, because everybody loves it. I've tried. I really did. I've literally tried The Witcher probably 7 times. I've installed that entire fucking game and got an hour into it, and I just straight up am like, I'm going to sleep. I'm getting tired. I don't wanna be tired right now. Why is this so boring? And I think it's just him. He's so monotone, but, like, I respect it. It's gotta be a good game. Like, I know I'm the anomaly. Nothing's for everyone. That's a really good way of saying it. Nothing is for everyone, and that's okay. I'm glad people have something to enjoy that's fantasy based, to be honest. Season one's hard to get into because they jump around a lot in time and don't broadcast it well. Yeah, there was a lot of jumping around in time, and like, what's her name? The girl that like does the not another teen movie thing. Like they take her ponytail down and she's suddenly hot. What's her name? Yennefer. Yennefer. She was the most interesting part of the entire show. I just wanted her. Like I was like, "Oh, you have depth and character and like tone of in your voice." Like your voice tones when you're talking with emotion. This is nice. Geralt is just this and what is what what I don't know. Just me though. I just get tired. I can't take games like that where it's just like a lot of quiet and a lot of boring. I just get really tired. It won't get picked up anymore, not now that Liam Hens Oh, they changed Oh my god, I didn't even put that together, someone said that. I didn't even put that together. They changed Geralt? The actor? I just put together what you were saying or someone earlier. What the Henry Cavill just quit? Weird. I completely just missed that point of this conversation. I'm so sorry. They can just change the main character actor like halfway through? Huh. Okay. Interesting. Seems an odd move. The actor wanted to be more verbal. The book character is nonverbal, but the narration tells his whole arc development in his head, making him in a show format does not work. Thank you. I couldn't remember the sound he does all the time, but it's hmm. Like you're not it's like a movie versus a book, right? That's the biggest difference. You're always going to get if your character of the if the main character of a story is an internal, quiet, stoic type of character, you're always going to get more in a book cuz you're getting their internal dialogue. Like you almost need that narration cuz otherwise just boy. That's weird that they changed the character. I'm sorry I didn't even grasp that concept. Wow, Katie. I loved, Witcher 3, but I don't really care about Geralt. The rest of the cast is awesome. Yep, I agree. And I think maybe if I got through the first season and they, like, incorporated more cast into it, I'd be more into it. He was just so boring. And, there's a million shows out there that I can watch and not be sleepy watching, so, like he didn't like the story changes. Were they changing it from, like, the original base story of the game? I don't know anything about it, so I'm just curious. They often do that, though. Fuck with shit. I'm just moving shit around. I'm making sure I don't have too many links, because yesterday they started crashing really hard and it was really scary. We don't need that one. We don't need that one. Okay. Oh, I don't. Okay. I forgot my fucking water. I know, and I'm out of coffee, and my throat is immediately going. We probably should take a break and go get a beverage, because Henry wanted to talk, and they said no. Seriously, Henry was right. In my I mean, even people that love the game and shit, would you guys be opposed to having that over, like, the narration of the internal dialogue of Geralt? Just so you kinda, like, maybe got to hear someone speak and, like, hear what the fuck's going on in him. I don't think people who like the game would be opposed to that. Because, like you said, in the book, he does it, and I mean, he does have I know just being in the gaming world, you can't avoid The Witcher. I know the story, I know Geralt as a character, but you just don't get any of that from him. Oh, the books are different from the game. Are they canon? I feel like such a nerd saying that, but you know what I mean. The Last of Us is so oh my god. The Last of Us ignited new hope in me, honestly. That TV adaptation, it, like, literally lit a flame in my heart, like, "Oh, I won't just get scared when people announce that they're gonna redo beloved things of mine or, like, create beloved things of mine. Oh, the games are sequels to the books. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that." Henry's like a diehard Witcher fan, right? I remember reading about that, that's why he was really excited and tried to get the role. Yeah, he's a big fucking nerd, right? He's like sex appeal nerd, like Mike said, very pretty to look at, also a nerd. Yeah, oh, there, Donna said it. Henry's a huge, huge fan of The Witcher. He would argue about keeping to the story, and they didn't want wow. That sucks. That sucks. Mm. One of the things was about being more emotive, but the Netflix geniuses thought, "That's not the McDonald's version of The Witcher we know and love." Great. Great. I have no interest in the Witcher game show or books, but I have so much respect for Henry Cavill saying, "Fuck you guys," and quitting. Hard same. Like, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Does anyone else think he was being, like, childish or something, quitting for wanting to stay true to the fandom? Because I mean, I am an anomaly, I know that. The fandom of Witcher is vast. Like, that's one of those games that goes top streamed games when they announce a new one. Like, it's fucking huge. I'm very into him standing by that. I'm proud of that. I think that's pretty upstanding of him. No pun intended. Oh, the books close on their own like a complete story arc? Maybe I'll read the books. I bet I'd like the books. Just because just what you're saying, like the internal dialogue, like actually getting something out of Geralt. Witcher 40K, etc. Yeah. He's a video game nerd. I love that. And then he was gonna do the Superman movies and they kicked him out of the role? What? He builds his own PCs? That gives me a boner. His Amazon Prime 40K show gives me hope. Please be good. I mean, he plays 40K, I think, right? That's what we were saying earlier. He's like a big nerd. I mean, if he walked away from The Witcher because they wouldn't stay true to form, I don't imagine he would take a job for the 40K one if they weren't going to stay true to form, right? Genuinely asking, I don't think so. I do think he was a bit too big of an actor for The Witcher. When COVID hit in the beginning, he would walk already. I mean, I think it was because he was such a fan though, which I kind of love. I wonder what part of 40K they're gonna do. Like, what story arc or what side, what team are we gonna follow? Do we know? Do you guys know anything about the show being announced? I agree, Mad Monkey. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, like, if you're not true to yourself, like, what do you have? I would think as an actor, you would want speaking roles. Same. Wait, Kendo, you don't want a script of, "Hmm." Come on. He also paints shut up, fruit fly. He paints Warhammer 40 minis as a hobby. He actually paints the minis too. Oh, that's fucking fantastic. Also, games workshops are fucking anal on their IP usage. Rightfully so, in my opinion. Wait, bad about that? Wait. I thought that was a good thing. By IP usage, I thought you meant like basically like their product. Is that not a good thing? Because I'd be anal about it too. Like I wouldn't want a studio to buy like say they're gonna make a movie about my product and then completely fuck it over and turn it upside down. That's not what we're saying. I would say being anal, I would think that was a good thing. Like protect your product. But I might be understanding wrong. I don't know. I'm not the smartest in the world, but I do my best. Shut up. That's kind of hilarious. Co-recorded voiceover for a rogue trader, and it was ditched when the Games Workshop went, "Oh, an American." I kind of get it. I mean, like at least in America, it's quite a thing that if you start talking about accents, someone in the room will be like, "Oh my god, I love blank accent." I have never in my life heard anyone in the world ever say, "You know what my favorite accent is? American." We don't sound pretty. I get it. No one wants to listen to this shit. It's not good. It's a huge hobby. This is the miniatures. I love that so much. I think you would love the book Yennefer. Oh, is it like a separate one? She has some deep character flaws that make you hate her and then you still love her. And that's the kind of character I'm into. Like I'm so just a character that has different levels, whether they're flawed. I mean, flawed obvious like everybody's flawed, but I love that. When it's like a character is flawed and the story isn't necessarily about fixing that flaw or about it's just is that's who they are. I kind of dig that. It makes it more real. It almost got to a point where Fanman YouTube stuff was going to get it shut down. Wow. In defense of anal. I wish it was an inquisitorial investigation a la Eisenhorn or Ravendor, but it will probably be Space Marines again. I was thinking the same. Kinger138, they can't do HH without fucking it up or making 8 seasons. I'd love 8 seasons. Like, I wanna see the fucking Archangels, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanna see them. Like, just do a storyline with them. It doesn't have to be about them, but, like, can I see them? Like, there's just so many things, that, like I'm just thinking of the game that I would love to see created, but, like, that'd be fucking sick. Really. Eliza.
Thank you for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving a fucking anus swings in defense of anus. Thank you.
I fucking appreciate you. That's a long goddamn time. How are you feeling? Oh, Donna's on mobile, so if she doesn't reply, she's not being a bitch today. It's just mobile sucks. People are soft on the American Southern accents. Are soft? What do you mean? Well, C-Town by American accent, I mean like mine. The Siri. I feel like I have very flat America. The telephone operator voice. Hi. Please enter your 4-digit PIN at the tone. No one's jerking off to Siri, you know what I'm saying? No one's out there like, wow, that's a hot one. You can understand it, but it doesn't, I mean, yeah. I don't mind not understanding some things when people talk, to be honest. Oh shit, Anubis, hold on. It happened to somebody else and they caught it on camera. Oh my god. Hold on. It autoplayed. Like everything because my life is hell. Shut up. This literally this is not Anubis like, specifically, but this literally happened in Anubis, what, like, 6 months ago? Holy fucking what? Oh my god, that is petrifying. Fucking petrifying! I'm really once again, and I know I've said this enough, but I'm really glad you survived. 'Cause Jesus fucking what? No. No shit, like, Anubis, like, came into stream one day and is like, I think you were like, "I'm having a bottle of wine or something because I think I was almost killed by lightning," and we were I thought he was kidding. 'Cause, like, what the fuck? No, that literally happened in Anubis recently. Fuck that shit! I would literally crap my pants so hard. No. Nope. No. There's at least one person in the rules jerking off to Siri. I have faith in depravity of humanity. Okay, there is probably somebody. You know what it probably is? It's probably a fetish. You know? It's not one of those things where people are like, oh my god, the English accent is so proper and attractive. Oh, it'll be like, you know, I really like when they pronounce all them syllables. Yeah. You know? It's gonna be something like that, probably. I mean, isn't there a whole season? Not a season, but there's a chunk of Big Bang Theory where Raj, like, is borderline dating his phone. And it's literally the first iPhone when Siri was launched. Yeah, I think there's, like, a whole season where Raj, like, dates his Siri and his phone. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Okay, I have to pee really bad, and I desperately need to get water or something because my mouth is so dry. Quick break, pee break, load a bowl, do what you need to do, and then we've got videos to watch and to laugh at and whatever. I'll be right back. Welcome back. This song brings me back a lot. Yeah, Biggie always be the fucking go. Your word on that. Sometimes your love just hypnotize me. What is this sample from? Or what did they put this sample in recently? Excuse me. Someone sampled this recently and I got really excited about it and it was not this song and I hated it. It's just some new R&B artist that stole the sample. I hate when they do that because I'm like, ooh, this, and then suddenly it's like some modern pop person I don't know being like, oh, WAP. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? What is this? You've heard, yeah, it was on the radio or something. And I mean, I'm sure you guys, it happens to me all the time because there's a lot of artists these days that just sample old shit. Well, old shit, music from the day. And I get real excited when I hear it and then it's not this song. I'm like, oh, why? Hi, Crispy. How are you, love? Oh my god, I love that movie. 10 Things I Hate About You is legendary. The fuck, man? That was the height of Julia Stiles. Back when we were young bucks, sling rock on the corner, just trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Word. All right, hold on. I'll let the song play. Let's cheers. But then I have all these videos. I just want, not that I want to like rush anything. I just don't want them to crash. Bastards. A TikToking grandma died at 67. That's really young to die. Why did that person die? Sad. Someone give me a death article. What happened? That's so sad. That's really young. Oh. I mean, same. Oh yeah, the scene where she gets drunk and dances on the table. Anybody remember those low-rise pants? Because not me. That's really young. Yeah, that's really fucking young. That's 67? What the fuck? Like, something must have happened. That's too young to just die. Yeah, the table dance. We all know it. And then she slams her head on the chandelier and we're all fine with it because of those pants. Oh, she had cancer. Oh, that's so sad. I mean, I hate to assume something like that, but like 67? That is really young. People don't just die at 67, man. Yeah, the cooking grandma, that's someone linked me the Dexterdo or whatever, their article. Super sad, 67. I hope their family heals from that because damn. I love you so much, Busta, but we have videos. You must stop. I love you, Busta. You're a great man. I think. I hope. I don't know. But we were talking about sea slugs, and I was like, I just wanted to show you a video of them swimming, and I found like literally the video suggested was the Frank, and he makes me feel happy. Look at that little shit. She was such a nice and fun lady who had one hell of a fun time with TikTok in her final years. You know what? What a great time to spend your final years, though. You know, like fucking a. At least she went out with a hopefully enjoying life. Hopefully. Like what more? Oh my god. Side note, before we watch this, I've been watching 6 Feet Under for the first time. And the way 6 Feet it's about a family that runs like a funerary business, like a funeral parlor. And there's every episode starts with a random death, and that's going to be one of the bodies that they have to deal with at the mortuary. And one of them was literally this gay couple, and they're like it's a room full of gay couples, and they're all like laughing at this show on TV. And there's one man who's laying out in a hospital bed, and then his partner's like laying on the side of it, like holding his hand. And the partner that's sick like looks up at his partner and smiles and laughs and passes in that exact moment. And I can't stop thinking about it. Like, can you think of a better way to go than like laughing and looking into the eyes of the person you chose to spend your entire life with? Like, I just bawled my eyes out. It was really well done. Like, it was just beautiful. It was really emotional, but damn. Not me being so online, I immediately know who we were talking about. I mean, honestly, if it was YouTube, I probably would. I'm that way of YouTube. Like I've been on YouTube and like consuming YouTube since it was, established to the point where when someone names, really old YouTube stars that have been Me Too'd or something or whatever, I tend to know exactly what you're talking about. But TikTok is just I've never really got into it. I'm not in short form content is exhausting. Oh, let me grab it. Hold on. It's not too big, honestly. I just want to watch them before they crash because we all know my fucking shitty ass computer likes to do shitty ass things. Gets the fucking pizzazzes. What up, Wand? How are you, love? I hope you're doing well. No, hold on. Um, please come back. Oh, I know, dude. Okay. Rook. On the note of Jenna Marbles, seriously, someone on Twitter, I don't even know who it was, but it rolled across my Twitter feed yesterday. Posted this like collage of photos of some of the original YouTube stars, and it was like the worst of the worst people. Like it was all these people that have been canceled, like Jeffree Star and shit like that. And Jenna Marbles was in there, and I was real offended. Like, yeah, she's one of the originals, but does she belong in that collage? No. What? No. Philip DeFranco wasn't even in that. He's been on YouTube since it was launched. Like, I just don't even know what to do. Like, what? She wasn't. What? She literally canceled herself. Like, get the fuck out. Jenna Marbles is a treasure and will be forever. How dare you slander? Like, I don't even know what they were trying to say with that, but fuck yourself. Jenna Marbles is precious and will be protected. Come at me. Absolutely not. For 5 years, your father kept us up his ass. How many years? Oh, God. It's been too. Dick falls off every fall and grows back in relativity to how many other males are in the area. So, like, in my Disney experience, Donald and Daisy were it. So, like, theoretically speaking, he probably could just walk fucking balls out because if there's no competition, you don't need 9 inches, I guess. Can you imagine? I think about that in terms of shedding. Like, I have a lot of reptiles and lizards and spiders and stuff, and they all shed, and I think about that sometimes. Like, what if people just decided to be like, I gotta call into work today, I'm molting, and you just had to lay on the ground and, like, crawl out of your old flesh that you had for the past year, and then chill out until your new stuff got hard. Like, what would that be? What would we do with all of our skins? And or cocks that fell off? Like, would we save them? Would it be like when babies' belly buttons fall off? Like, would we have scrapbooks of dicks of years past? Would we look at these scrapbooks like, oh, yes, 98, that was a fine year. And it's just like this fucking 12-inch monster because you lived in the mountains around, or I mean, you lived in a city of men or something. I don't know. Like, how would we treat this? Maybe eat them? I mean, there are people who eat their placenta. I'm not in support of it, but you do you, boo boo. It would be nice to engage in coitus and then make a smoothie. No. No. We could do arts and crafts. Oh my God, what if we like petrified the dicks? They could be a building material if you think about it. We could have literal bags of dicks and no one's getting harmed in the process. But also, like, what's that like winter without it, just no dick? Like, when is it like a toenail? You know how, like, when your toenail falls off, if you, like, runners, I think this is a common thing. I have a big toenail that just falls off. But when it falls off, there's already a new toenail growing underneath. Like, maybe it's like that. Like, by the time your dick falls off, there's like this little mushroom cap just like starting underneath. And by the time it's spring, then it's full grown? Or does it just like sprout one day and take over? Like Ivy in Maryland or something. I have questions about the anatomy. Dicks in resin, I'd do that. Imagine that girl that saves used condoms, like what her walls would look like. Spring has literally sprung. Literally sprung. I have questions. This could be a fun world we lived in. Like, you know how some people will collect aluminum cans out of trash cans to go get money? Maybe that would be a dick thing. Like, people would pay, 3 cents on the cock or whatever. He has a mushroom dick. What a fun guy. That was a good one. Good job. Oh my God, goddess. Mm-hmm. No, it shocked me too. Don't worry about it. The hyenas are another case of humans trying to make gender black and white and genitals black and white, when in no shape or form have they ever been black and white. And we're just so boring. And why are we this way? Fuck. I know. I still love ducks, but when when you walk past a pond, you see some little kid happily throwing bread at some ducks. I definitely have different feelings about that. Ducks, though, right? Nature's fucked up. It's crazy. Honestly, that shit's not even the most fucked up. The most fucked up to me, if you've ever watched like those nature shows that are often narrated by like David Attenborough or something, someone like that, where it's about like the birds of paradise and similar. There's one species, I don't know if it's categorized as a bird of paradise, but it's a species of bird in some part of the world where they spend up to 5 years building a stick tower. And like every bird, like not species, every individual of this species has a unique way of decorating said stick tower. So it's like sticks, like crisscross together up until it's like a tall fucking like pyre, and they'll hang things on the side like dead bugs or moss or something. And they do all of this so that a female can come hop around it and just leave. Like they have like a 1% mating like rate, and if she's okay with their stick tower, the fuck is a millisecond. It's a cloacal like, and then she flies away and that's it. And that shit baffles me. These birds are it's what does that in their brain? Like what kind of level of instinct teaches them to build this fucking stick tower? With the it's just crazy. Like, every bird has its special decoration it loves. So every stick tower is different. It's just they can't talk. It's not like they hang out with their babies and teach them this shit. What's saying in their brain to do this? You know? Must build fucking stick tower. I like moss. Puts moss. And they build this stick tower and then they spend their entire existence editing it until some female comes by and inevitably says, like, I hate it and flies away. And, we all know why the females don't look bright and pretty. It's so they blend in. But they're hideous. And they just look like these, like, snobs. Like, sometimes they'll literally try to destroy the tower. They hate it so much. A tower that took, like, 3 years of this bird's life, which is arguably, like, a quarter of its life. Or maybe a third of its life. It's just animals, though, man. Wild. It's the best fucking millisecond of their life. And true, if you, like, calculate what their lifespan is, milliseconds probably, like, it might be, what's the, like, on par. Literally. They hate it, ruins it. Just will fucking, they'll like rip a decoration off the side, and you watch the male standing to the side, like in a bush, watching her look, because he can't be present when she's looking at it. Or what they'll do is, like, as she hops around it, he stays on the exact opposite side of the tower so she can't see him. And he just watches her, and it's like, I don't know if I'm just putting human emotions on this bird, but I see sadness in his eyes. I see sadness. The the turmoil this little fucker went through for this millisecond cloacal kiss, to watch her just be like, and then fly off. You just see it. Like a tear would drop if they'd cried. I don't know if birds cry. It's heartbreaking. Simba fluffed his mom and aunt and cousin. Fluffed? You mean fucked? Oh, for sure. I mean, animals just do that shit, right? I mean, if you end up the leader of a pride, that you're usually like the one full-grown male in that pride, right? I think lions are pretty similar to hyenas, except hyenas don't keep a male around, but they usually have a male, and that male is fucking every single female in that pride. So if that female is your mom, I mean, if your mom's in your pride, you're fucking your mom. So like Simba was getting fucked up with Mommy Dearest. Like a lot. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but when a female lion goes in heat, the male lion will oftentimes fuck her for 30 minutes at a time for 24 hours straight, taking like 15-minute incremental breaks, just to ensure that his sperm inseminates her. Like, Simba and Mommy went wild. Simba gone wild. It's inevitable. It's fucking, I mean, I know way too much. I love animals. I am gross, so I absorb the gross shit. I'm stuck. I can't help it. It's the circle of life. Mom, stop singing. Bad, Katie. All right, we have other videos that aren't gross. I need to shut up. Genitals are fascinating, though, honestly. And I feel like my mom loves to make fun of me because when I was a kid, I definitely drew cocks on everything. I had 3 older brothers, and I was just fascinated by the fact that they could pee outside against trees. Well aware of what penises were at a very young age because we used to run in sprinklers naked at the age of 3, God forbid. And I guess I just had crazy jealousy in my mind because I was like, you are so mobile with your urine, and I don't understand. You guys know, I've told you I used to shit in the woods and pretend I was an elf. It was the best I could do. So I used to draw dicks on everything. Everything. People's homework, my friends, whatever. People's faces when they're drunk, just dicks. And I feel like my obsession led to me being who I am today, in that when someone tries to come at me and be like, girls have vaginas and men have penises, and that's that, bitch. I have a whole lot of fucking knowledge on just like the living world, and now that I went through school and shit, like the medical world, to back up me, shut the fuck up, bitch. Stop spewing dumb. Shh. Shh. I can do sutures and I will stitch your face shut. Shh. I feel like, you know what I mean? Whereas maybe if I didn't know as much as I do, because of my just vast curiosity of the animal world about the vast amount of like genital formations that can happen in nature, and all the hermaphroditic and the all the different animals that can literally willfully change their sex if there's too many of one sex in the area, and for humans to be like, we're above all that mystically, we just are different, is just so ignorant. But I feel like I've got the knowledge to, back that shit up, and it established that mindset for me. So I didn't have to be convinced of anything. I was never, I remember there was a portion of my life I didn't know what trans was, but I was never ever anti-trans. My parents were very pro everything. My mom's very, very allyship is a big part of her personality, which definitely influenced us as kids. But when I was introduced to a trans person and learned what trans was, I was like, sick. I had not a fleeting in my brain, nothing. And I think that's why, though, because I was fully under, and my whole family's medical, and if you're medical, you can't help but realize we're just animals. We look exactly like pigs on the inside. It's crazy. Or if you've ever butchered a deer, humans, other than the grain sack and shit like that. But it's pretty crazy. You see that and you're like, oh, we're just another animal, that kind of devolved. So we had to put clothes on. No other animal had to do that. I think there's a few different amphibians that do it, definitely. And I wanna say there's no shit, I learned about this on one of those nature shows. There is at least one type of fish, probably multiple types, but there's this one type of fish, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called, but it's like a big, like, ugly I mean, it's fugly. It looks like something you would eat, you know? Just like a big but at literally at a point in its life, no matter what, it swims into a cave, creates a mucus cocoon, and changes its sex. I think from male to female. I can't remember which way it goes, but when they emerge, it's kind of like a cocoon of mucus. They emerge out and they are the complete opposite sex and they are like different looking. Like they have all the like masculine or feminine traits, whichever way it went. I can't remember. And it's just built into their genetic. Like that's what they do. That is genetically what that fish does. It's not like, but we're so different. There's so many animals that do, I mean, amazing, beautiful things to survive as a species. And yet I feel like there's a huge portion of humanity that actively wants to halt human evolution in that like we are conscious of the fact that you can be born with a assigned sex at birth that does not fit what your brain says. Like we're smart enough to acknowledge that. Let's acknowledge that and let people be people. Like, you know what I mean? I laugh because it's anger. I'm so angry about it. It just seems like willful ignorance. I don't think it was halibut. I don't remember. It wasn't halibut because it was like a big like ooh, like I don't remember. It was a cool fish, but I just thought it's just one more case. I mean, there's tons of animals that do different things like that out in nature, and it's just I feel like it's really really. I just when did it become cool to sound so dumb out loud? I feel like as a kid, I almost didn't speak if I wasn't sure of what I was saying because I didn't want to seem stupid. So I would just stay silent instead of speaking on shit I didn't understand because I literally was like, I don't want to be stupid here. What happened? It was a reef fish, absolutely. I wanted to say reef fish, but there's so many different reef fish. But absolutely, you know the one I'm talking about. And it swims into a little cave in the reef, makes this little mucus cocoon, and comes out a different sex completely. It's really fucking cool. I just think that's really amazing, and to ignore it or think you're different from it is really ignorant, in my opinion. We question all the changes of gender and stuff like that, and then we have fucking butterflies. Dude, fucking butterflies, though. Don't even get me started. I don't even think they fully comprehend that yet, do they, Erican? I don't know. The last thing I read, like, that if you're unaware, so, like, for a very long period of time, we assumed that butterflies were very similar to all other insects, invertebrates that do a cocoon phase or have, like, a larval phase to an adult phase, like dragonflies do something similar. There's all sorts of insects that do that. Nope. No. Butterflies, motherfuckers. The caterpillar that goes and makes a cocoon is genetically a different animal to the butterfly that emerges. They literally rewrite their genetics in the cocoon to be something different. I'm not a geneticist, obviously. Like genetics were really hard for me. Math is fucked. Like I understand it on such a base level, but it's how do you look like fucking butterflies? Not to mention, there's a lot of species of butterflies out there that if they find something in the woods that's bleeding, they'll drink the blood because they're thirsty. Metal as fuck. Some butterflies can't consume food. They literally come out of butterfly and live to fuck and die when they can't. No food consumption. A lot of moths do that too. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, it dissolves and reconstitutes. Yeah. What the shitballs? That is hot magic to me. I do that, Donnie. You're magic. Frogs, a lot. I think a lot of amphibians can change sex. Yeah, I don't know if it's like written into literally their lifespan. Like this fish I'm talking about, they just do it no matter what. Like it's part of it's part of their life. Like growing pubes or something. It's like their puberty is to change sex at a certain point. It's wild. Whereas I think with some frog species and a lot of other amphibian species, it's like literally their bodies sense like there's too many dicks on the dance floor, so theirs falls off, and they're chill about it. Wild. Wild. Yeah, I can't remember the term, but it's fascinating. Some species of fish, notably parrotfish and wrasses, oh, get it, living in coral reefs change their biological sex as they age, beginning life as females, later becoming functionally male. Boom. I wanted to say it was male because I remember what it looked like. And like the fish that went into the little mucus cocoon was like smaller and didn't have this, like when he comes out, this fish like has this fucking knob on its head. No shit, it grows like this like helmet head and it looks mean as fuck. It seems like maybe an aggressive trait to be like a nice male that's gonna fight other males or something. I don't know. Do they totally rewrite or just express a different part of the DNA chain? Huge bits of the DNA are usually dormant. So it's again, it's really hard for me to even. I don't completely comprehend it. It's not genetics were really hard for me, but it dissolves and then reconstitutes into something completely different. So I guess yeah, it's completely different. It's not expressing different DNA parts. It's rewritten. Like it breaks apart and then comes back together in a different way. But when I read about them, they had just discovered this and there wasn't very much information on it and it was just fascinating. It's just wild to me, like shit like that can happen. Mothra would be one of those moths, 100%. I hate walking into the place with dicks just lying on the floor. I mean, all the dicks on the dance floor, though. I know. Imagine preferring brain existence. Dude, not in this economy. Well, you know what's crazy though, Marilyn? I think about that like with my tarantulas. Like they have a ganglion. Like that is their central nervous system. Like we have our brain, and then all the nerves. Tarantulas, one ganglion. And yet they have all this instinctual knowledge to just like exist and do and like burrow or not burrow, web or not web. And like we've watched them like use their tiny little pedipalps to like dig dirt, like literally a little bulldozer, and then they pull up a little bundle of it and they walk across their container and they pat it against the walls and they literally like decorate. And I can't, like, how am I any better? I can't do any of that. I cannot make a home with my ass silk. Ass silk, if you will. You know? I don't know. It does that shit in Prometheus does to engineers. It does what shit in Prometheus does to engineers, yes. The 10% of the brain thing has been disproven. You know what? I read this really, really recently. It was some fucking email I got from Hopkins. It wasn't a huge, like, it wasn't a full, like, study or anything. It was just, like, the cliff notes on it. But they said that we were, like, half right on the 10% thing or the 13, whatever the percentage was. It's not necessarily that we don't use 13% of our brain. What they said is, or it's not necessarily that we only use 10% or whatever. It's that we only use 10% at a time. So we were like half right. I'd ask Neuro though. Neuro, I mean, literally, he's a neurosurgeon. He would know like infinitesimally more information on that than I do. Especially because he probably still gets the emails from Hopkins as well. I think if you worked at Hopkins ever, you just constantly are going to get their emails for the rest of your life. But it's kind of cool because you do get updates on cool studies they're doing, and that was pretty interesting. I know Neuro's ears might be burning. He lurks a lot, but he would know so much more than me on that one. I actually I was reading an interesting study on ADHD the other day that was studying the brains of people who had diagnosed ADHD who had passed. And like there was a large trend in, oh, I'm really bad at remembering the lobes of the brain, but like the animalistic part of our brain, like the instinctual part of our brain, the part of our brain that like does balance and stuff like that. That in people who are diagnosed ADHD tends to be smaller on average than someone who's not neurospicy. But our brain overcompensates by having a twice as large frontal lobe. So, like, we have no balance, no coordination, and we can barely speak out loud. But, like, our thinking levels and our overcompensation for where we lack is, like, off the fucking charts, which is why a lot of people go undiagnosed for so goddamn long. Again, brand new study. It was really interesting to read. Like, you can't, like, base any facts off of anything. Like, it's just a brand new thing they're looking at. But I thought neuro! Dude, okay, neuro. It's a super quick. I don't know if you got this email from Hopkins, but we were talking, what was it? It was, oh my God. It was about the 10% thing with your brain. You know how that was like that misnomer that's like, we only use 10% of our brain, whatever. I got like an email from Hopkins that was like, we have a new study coming out that said we were half right on that. We don't necessarily only use 10% of our brain. We're only using whatever that amalgamous percentage is. I don't remember what it is. I'm just using 10. Please don't stick on that one. But like whatever it is, we only use that much of our brain at a time. It's not like, literally 10% chunk of our brain is all we use. It's just like we're only utilizing like that random percentage at a time. So we weren't like 100% wrong, but we definitely weren't correct. Yeah, we used the whole structure, right? It was really interesting, but I literally, Neuro, I was saying, like, that is not my background. Like, I can read these reports and I can get the cliff notes out of them, and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. But, like, oh my God, they start getting into the numbers and the trial samples, and I'm like, oh, nope. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Well, Glut, hold on, I have to read this. This is great. Glut said, no, I live in Florida. I've met people that only use 10%. Neuro, there's always exceptions. I fucking love you. Not everybody, but like, man, you gotta wonder. You gotta really wonder about some of them. Like, what? I think it's gotta be willful. I just don't know how you can be that dumb. Negative, only have chat on chat only mode. Boom. You should see the science on brain activity and dopamine resources amongst introverts and extroverts. I have. I've read a lot about it. It goes hand in hand with a lot of ADHD research. It's fascinating. Honestly, it really is. Oh my. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yep. It must be 1 something. Yeah. 4 o'clock. Yeah, it's 1:10 on the dot, man. I think they've done MRI or whatever and seen more than 10% activity at a time. I believe it. I don't know if it's 10%. That's what I'm saying. I can't remember what the percentage is. But I mean, how can you generalize such a mysterious structure in such a large population of human beings? It's really hard for me to think that, we can barely generalize a lot of things. Like, everybody kind of functions differently, reacts differently to different drugs and stuff like that because it's just genetically how they are or how they've abused their body or whatnot throughout their life. It's so hard to generalize. Brains are mysterious. I'm consistently baffled by the organ that is currently talking about itself in third person, and it's the only one that named itself. And yet Neuro went to school to cut into him willfully. The bravery there. Like, they're just so crazy to me. In the most fascinating way, though. I know, your brain is, like, never not doing things. Like, it has to. Because, like, you've got nervous systems you don't have to consciously think about, breathing, organ things. I'm currently reading a book called The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. It's super interesting, about right hemisphere brain injuries. Oh my God, I bet that's fucking fascinating. That stuff, it was really, really hard for me to work in neuro. I worked in a surgery unit, so all the units around me were surgical. So, like, if, one unit had someone call out, I would often have to go work in that, but it was always surgical. So I worked either in surgical oncology, just med surge, or I worked over in neurosurge. And it was always so hard for me because, like, there's never, no one's in a surgical unit for literal neurosurgery for anything cash, you know? Like, everything is so fucking critical. And it's Neuro again, so much smarter. And he does stream. My friend Dr. Neuro, literally, we worked together at Hopkins. He's a legit neurosurgeon. And he does stream every once in a while. So give him a follow if you ever have, like, want to go talk about cool shit. And he's, like, on the up and up on COVID. But there's something about having a certain level of brain surgery where your brain kind of restarts itself as, like, a defense mechanism or something. Again, these are layman's terms. I am not a neurosurgeon or a neurospecialist by any means, respiratory therapist over here, just surgery person. But so, like, everybody coming out of surgery is kind of like brain dead a little at first. I'm not saying they're coming out actually brain dead, but they seem that way. And it's like you never know if they're 100% okay for, like, a day sometimes. And half of them come out with just, like, this shaved strip down the middle of their head, and they just have hair coming out the sides like Bozo the Clown. And they're, just drool, and I can't extubate them because 'cause they're not neurally there, and it's hard. The people that work in neuro are angels, because, like, it's so hard. Emotionally, it's just really hard to see that because you can't help but put yourself in that place. Like, they're still in there, they just can't communicate at that time or for whatever reason, and it keeps giving me the shivers. I know the more developed the corpus callosum is in the brain, the more raw intelligence a person has. What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Like, potential? What do you mean by what is raw? Like, raw dogging your brain? What does that mean? Help! Like, why do we laugh? One funny thing can't make two people laugh or cry or whatever the soul. You know what makes me think about that? Like, I don't feel like I'm a religious person or ever, or any of that. I'm a recovering Catholic, so we're going there. But I don't consider myself religious by any means. However, the mere fact, and not only that I've watched many videos of it because it's fascinating to me, the mere fact that blind babies smile when they're happy. Born blind babies. Itty bitty. And we all know a giggling, happy baby smiling there's nothing that can uplift your heart more. Like, it makes me choke up thinking about it. Like, I don't have kids and I don't want kids, and it's still like, oh my God. Like, it's the most pure thing in the world. Blind babies instinctually smile and laugh and giggle, like, without ever visualizing that. And sure, maybe they've felt mom's face when she's happy and associated whatever. It's still magical. That kind of shit, you got to think like there's something. And that's the thing, like, smiling is interesting because, I believe in evolution and we evolved from primates and whatnot. And they say, again, I'm not a specialist in primates or apes of any kind, but they say that primates, for instance, show their teeth as an act of aggression or warning, like, I'm nervous, don't come near me. I don't know how smiling evolved to be like laughing ha 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 with people. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm not nervous when I'm laughing most of the time, I don't think. I mean, sometimes I'm vastly uncomfortable and or sad and I smile and laugh to make up for it. But like, I don't know. Smiling is my favorite. I love smiling. Laughing is literally my favorite ever. It's just fascinating to me that it kind of is like, I don't know if it's an animalistic thing. Like something that we just do. I don't know. My mom had parts of her head shaved for each cochlear implant she had done. Cochlear, not cochlear, Katie, cochlear implant. Yeah, that's pretty normal. Does she have to keep it shaved or could she grow the hair back around it? Does she have like the one where you kind of like, it's like a magnet? Like you put the outside one on and it like, so you can still have your hair back, I think. There's one where it stays shaved and I can't remember. That might be a way old design. We've come so far with brain surgery. Wish we had that level of knowledge on the chemical side. I know. You know what it is? It's because like the chemical side makes so much money, they don't have to progress. But like in order to progress making money with neurosurgery, you have to have successful surgeries. I think that's probably, I mean, I'm probably not informing anyone of anything they don't know. Big Pharma's bad. Big Pharma's fucking bad. Your pain receptors are the same thing that trigger when you're tickled, from what I remember, so I have no fucking clue. I mean, nerve stuff. The fact that the same nerves deliver pain, pleasure, tickle, whatever the fuck tickling is wild to me. Nerves are crazy. Nerves were really hard for me in school too, to even conceptualize, because it's like electrical impulses, but somehow your brain reads them different depending on what the stimuli is. And then, I can't help but like start mushing in stupid knowledge from other areas of my studies. So like in chemistry, we learn about like entropy and heat transfer. And so what I learned, this I always thought was kind of cool. So like when you feel cold, when you pick up something cold, what you're really, the sensation your brain is receiving is that object that is a lower temperature than your hand is actually entropically stealing heat, energy from your hand. That's what cold is. And that, like, your bones are wet. Brushing your teeth is the only time you clean your bones. Bodies are weird. Technically, I think, like, your butthole's older than your teeth, too. Like, your teeth come in later. She was able to, so it's probably the magnet then, or I don't want to say magnet because it might be something else, but something where there's an outside part that, like, but she doesn't have to have it on 24/7. I think it was a really older version where it was like there was the internal part and then there was the external part, but you couldn't remove the external part. It was like exposed and just like kind of a piercing into and so they couldn't grow their hair back. But I think that was really old. Your bones are wet and you're manually breathing. Dude, I manually breathe a lot. Because I feel like especially when I'm sitting still for a long period of time, I forget to breathe and then I start to get really lightheaded. And I'll be like, oh, Katie, remember that amazing feeling that is breathing? The digestive tract is one of the first things to develop, and your lungs are one of the last, I think. I think your lungs, if not the last thing to develop in a baby, right? I think they are. Yeah. I'm going to say that confidently. I think your lungs are the last thing to develop. And then you just get fat. Turn into a big fat baby, the best kind. Everyone is now hyper aware of their breathing. I know it's the worst. It's the worst. There's like a old wives' tale about that. Oh, some of our videos actually came back. Yes. Not that they crashed. They did. where it's if a genie showed up and handed you a piece of gold and said, put this in your pocket, and if you don't think about it, you'll suddenly be the richest man on earth. But like if someone hands you a piece of gold and says, don't think about it, what's the first thing you're going to think about constantly? Like it's impossible not to think about it. I definitely forget to breathe. Not sure which one of my undiagnosed brain things causes that. I don't know what it is, if it's a brain thing or if it's just like my body's going to sleep because I've been sitting still for so long. I don't know which way it goes. Because I know, sitting still and just being lethargic in general, your heart rate lowers naturally. Like everything kind of naturally goes down. And I wonder if that's what's happening there too. Because, like, for instance, just sitting, my hands get really cold. Oh my God, Vissy, yes! Yes. Inception in a nutshell. I like that movie. Except the end. I still don't know. Maybe I shouldn't research my medical conditions. I mean, medical professional ClassyKatie says, don't mistake your Google research with my medical degree. Katie as a human says, I would. This is starting to feel like a putting your meds in the dog's treats situation, motherfucker. What do I have? Taylor Tomlinson, hilarious stand-up. That's where that's from. She's so fucking funny. But I'll fucking use it. Just give credit where credit's due. It's so good. Ooh, fuck yeah. How was that? It's so cold here right now. Like, frigid. We're gonna be like -11 on Monday, Vissy. Kill me. Ugh. Nah, but if you've been officially diagnosed, I would definitely be up researching what the fuck they put on me. I couldn't help it. I just want to know more about myself. But I mean, yeah. Oh, you're gonna get to 1? Holy shit. That's like really cold for you, right? That's like akin to Texas being under watch for like blizzard warnings, right? I don't think Oklahoma gets that cold normally. That's crazy. Oh, McTaggart, I'm glad you had a fucking happy nap. My tabs crashed and I was waiting for them to come back and they just came back. So, yay! Fine. Probably. However, just simply because the way that it probably would not affect like the way the test would function, but like how the strip is that absorbent material, and if it gets pre-wet at one point with just mucus and not the saline solution that helps loosen up the fluid so that it's viscous enough to travel up the strip, that might stop the absorption of the chemical and your sputum sample up the strip to where the dye is that will actually change color. So like, it might look like a negative, but that's just because the sample couldn't absorb all the way up the strip because the mucus blocked it. Does that make sense? I mean, that's just where my brain would go. I would just, you have the extras, like, why not? But like, it might. Yeah. I love this stuff. How do you separate your yolks? Because I have seen, and I don't know why, but I'm introduced to stupid hacks about this stuff all the time. And I've never felt I needed a fucking hack to separate a yolk. I just do it with my fingers. Or if I'm feeling real fucking fancy, I just use the eggshell. And like you pour it back and forth and the egg just falls off and then you got the yolk in an eggshell. It's like, and that's if I'm like, feeling a little pretentious or whatever, feeling a little delicate, fragile, if you will. But like, why is that a thing? Why, I mean, what was the one I saw recently? It was the weirdest hack. I gotta think of it. It was a separate, no, I think it was like a, personal pet peeve of mine. I hate kitchen gadgets. Like, single use bullshit is not my jam. We have like 3 nice knives, a couple spoons. Like, and if you can't do it with that, get out of the fucking kitchen. I hate the gimmicky shit that has one purpose and then it just sits on a shelf for no reason. And it was like an egg yolk separator or some shit. And I watched it like 4 times and I was like, I do not understand how any of this is easier than just fucking your hands. But again, not a cook. Also, wash your hands before and after fucking them. I hate the clutter of it. And, if it's something you barely ever use, some like single use gadget that's going to be tucked away in like a cupboard or something, I'm never going to remember it even exists. I'm going to learn to adapt without it. It's the single-use stuff. Yeah, there's some gadgets that are amazing. I like those choppers, those are amazing. I've had, like, a chopper to, like, dice tomatoes and onions and stuff like that for years. That's incredible. Now I have nice knives, so it's not that bad, but, like, those are pretty great, but I feel like those have a lot of purpose. But it's the clutter. I have a really, really small kitchen, like, very minimal counter space. I don't want shit, you know? I'd rather just figure out how to use what I've already got. But we have, like, we have whisks and stuff. We have, like, kitchen tools, but there's no, you know, I don't know, just single-use bullshit gadgets. I can't even think of one. But I saw one that separated egg yolks, and I was like, "I don't understand. Am I doing it wrong with my hands?" I mean, the thing they were using literally was just plastic finger spread fingers. Can opener, single use, boom. Well, yeah, no, you're right. I was gonna say, I use the hook on the other side to open cans of paint. That's a can, Katie. When it comes to these cooking shows, is how they're like, and 2 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 tablespoons paprika, and it's all this pre-portioned bullshit in these tiny little glass bowls that don't exist in the world outside of a restaurant. This is real. This is what it's like if you try to grate cheese into a goddamn bowl. It's gonna go everywhere. And no one's like measuring that shit out. Follow your fucking heart. I love this. So he gets home around midnight and makes dinner. I love that. Did you know Olive Grater sells those grinder cheese grater things? I didn't know Olive Garden did, but Zach went and found one on Amazon, and we definitely own one. And it's amazing. I don't say that lightly. We use it regularly. Like, it's the best. It's a single-use item again, I think. I don't think you can do anything else with those other than put some nice Parmigiano, Reggiano, vagina inside and, like, never say when. Right? It's not a mill for literally anything else. I think it's another one. That's another single user in there. But used practically every day because I love cheese, so excuse it. I would never forget that existed. I think about it hours before it's time to eat. I'm like, I wonder what I could use that on today. That's true. You could grate nutmeg with it if you were desperate. Nutmeg is really good. And you don't have to fuck your fingers. Also, I know there's science to it. Y'all that cook extensively could probably explain it better than I can. But there's science to the surface area of certain foods and how it actually affects how it tastes and like the please excuse the horrific phrase, but mouthfeel. It does that, and like there's definitely something different versus, you know, those upright like triangular graters. Even using the smallest grate on it and grating some Parmesan versus using the little and it like curls and comes out. It's different. It's better that way. It's like, I don't know what it is though. You guys could explain it better. There's something to it. It's effectively a rotary microplane. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It has a little foot that holds stuff down too. Yep, and the more surface area, the faster things cook. Exactly, which probably I think this is where what I've heard, if we're going on the same track, I think it's like the more surface area, the more exposed to your taste buds of your tongue. So like you get all the flavor instantly, as opposed to having to like masticate it, mix it with spit, and then flavor it, and it's so gross, but like something like that. Honestly, the EU is way better, but the USA egg sanitation, is at least as effective to prevent salmonella, I think. I mean, I haven't, like, grown up with a fear of eggs and salmonella. However, I do know that in America, like, culturally, we keep our eggs in the fridge, and it's not just culturally, though. It's because most of the eggs in America come from factory farms where the chickens are loaded up with antibiotics and just live in horrific conditions. And therefore, if the chickens have a sick, then their eggs have a sick, and so we keep them refrigerated so that ickies don't grow. Whereas, like, in a lot of the world, it's not, it's nobody keeps eggs in the fridge because you just haven't been taught you have to because you don't even have that potential of dying because of the icky chickens. The conditions they live in, I should say. Something like that. Oh my god, does an egg freeze? I have never frozen an egg in my life. Eggs freeze? Why would you do that? Chickens. They do. Weird. Why would you freeze an egg? It's partially that. Things like garlic have volatile flavor compounds that don't get expressed until the cell walls are damaged during cutting. So that's why fresh garlic is way more garlicky than pre-minced garlic. Jarlic. Jarlic tastes like chemicals to me. I've tried. There's so many people that swear by it, and like I've seen people do like the cooking experiments, and they're like, at the end of the day, you can't taste the difference. I'll taste. There's something. It's almost like when you accidentally burn garlic and it gets that bitter like tang. I feel like garlic comes with that flavor. I can't do it. I don't know. I'm not that smart. I don't know what to pack because I feel like I could go do that. Like I have all that in my fucking kitchen. I have never made pasta carbonara. Carbonara, is that what you would call it? Is that it? Carbonara? Just pasta. It's just carbonara. Yeah, I've never made it before in my life. No, it's one of those pasta dishes that I'm like scared of because every, traveling cook or cook person that I've watched in the years of my life has always stated it's one of the most simple pastas in the world that is the easiest to fuck up, and it scares me. They scared me. Like, I'll wing anything else. I'm not a recipe person. Like, tell me you want a delicious red sauce pasta with fucking gravy on it, and I fucking got you from here. But that, never. It's scary. I don't know why. I've made hollandaise 5 million times, which is it's kind of the same process of just, like, not curdling eggs. I don't know why, but I'm terrified of it. I've just never tried. No, did I miss the dough video? Hold on. That person made me feel like I could do it. They didn't say anything scary. I don't know if it's, like, just a pretentious cook thing. I don't know what it's like. I don't know if they're aiming to scare me, but they're adequately scaring me away from cooking a lot of foods because I'm like, I don't wanna I'm poor, and I'm not gonna waste money on good ingredients that I'm potentially going to fuck up. It was like going to my very first physics class in college where the 84-year-old man at the front of the class said, "This is the most" and then he died. Just kidding. "This is the most failed class in the university. Over 80% of you won't make it. Please get out your syllabus." Feels like that. Don't set me up for failure. Set me up for hope. Give me hope. That gave me hope. This is way easier than hollandaise. Really? But it's like more expensive ingredients and stuff. I don't know. And more like time. Like if I'm going to take all that time to make the pasta and shit and then that fucker curdled on it, I would want to die. Oh, just be careful with the pancetta because it's easy to burn. But it's not all that difficult to make without messing up. As long as you mix the egg cheese mixture off heat, you'll be fine. I've never seen anyone do what he did, and that's why I said, is it kind of like a slurry where they take like a spoonful of big ladle full of like the blazing hot pasta liquid and throw it into the eggs and do like a pre-mix? That's genius. It's kind of like, I can't think of another word other than a slurry. I want to say roux, but it's not really a roux, but you know what I mean? It's that concept of adding flour to something and not getting lumps. I've never seen anyone do that, and that was kind of genius. Tempering is the word. Yeah, it's like tempering. Seriously, that's really smart. I've never seen anyone do that before. That's why you practice with shit ingredients so you get the technique down and then switch to higher quality ones. Do you want to know? So get this. I grew up eating Eggs Benedict every single Christmas morning my entire life up until my Nana passed away. Now Christmas doesn't happen anymore. But literally, I don't know why. I couldn't tell you, but it was like family tradition. We had to have Eggs Benedict, which involves hollandaise sauce, right? So my whole life I ate this, loved it. I still love Eggs Benedict. When I'm like a teenager, I want to get in the kitchen. I'm trying to like learn how to cook and shit. I'm interested. I'm curious. And I'm like, teach me how to make the hollandaise. Would you like to know what they made it out of? Please grab a vomit bag. Oh God, what is it called? It's that like tub violent yellow cheese, not Velveeta, that you get to make a cheese ball out of. And it's almost like sour hot garbage. Not Velveeta. It's like a little square tub that would have a lid you would peel off and you'd have to like. And I think people make cheese balls out of it a lot. I can't ever remember the name. I think it's like a blue lid. But I went in the kitchen to learn how to make this, and there was just like 7 tubs of that out, and they would just add that to a pan and like add milk and like whisk it. It is not what that is. That is not what it's for. It's like cheese spread. I think that's literally what it's meant to be, is like a cheese spread. It's spreadable cheese, exactly. It's a spreadable cheese. You know what it reminds me of? It's like pimento cheese with no pimentos, but that weird gritty texture that, like, like you think it's gonna be like peanut butter, or like cream cheese, where you could take like a swipe off and it'll be all, but it kind of like it's gritty. Oh God, I cannot. I want to say it starts with a K, but my brain keeps going Kahlua. Kahlua is alcohol, Katie. That's not what it is. It's like K, K, something like that. It's not terrible. I've definitely had it with a cheese ball, but like it ain't supposed to be hollandaise. Hollandaise literally isn't cheese, which is what I learned in like way later, because after seeing that I was like, "Oh, I don't want to learn about this at all. I don't know what's happening here. Is my family specifically responsible for the cheese caves? Like what's going on?" No, isn't hollandaise is just eggs and butter. The yolk. The yolks. Yes, Kalkuna. Kalkuna. I don't even know how to say it. That. Now, Crispy, put that in a microwave and add some condensed milk and tell me what you think. Me neither. I have not. That's what I'm saying. I remember that. I think it have a blue lid? I want to say it did. I don't know. That's like my weird violent memory, but that might have been like margarine in the kitchen or something and I just blacked out. But it's got like this sour flavor to it. I want to like a tang or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're trying to like mimic funky cheese or something. It's the opposite of good. It is not meant to be this way. Like, no. Stop it. I grew up on the worst ingredients. This is the moral of this story. I can literally eat rocks and be like, yum, what was that? Like a regular meal in my house was shit on a shingle, and I thought that was elegance. I was like, we live in fucking Big Bras. We getting fucking meat gravy tonight. Let's go. I have the palate of like a miner. No, nope, it did not have red streaks, I don't believe, but honestly, I don't remember because I don't think I stayed long enough to see it go in the pan. By the time I saw it, it was a drippy sauce being labeled on top of a weirdly poached egg on an English muffin. It might have though. Okay, no shit though. How did your families make us SOS? Because I find that when I just like what my family called shit on a shingle, i.e., SOS, is absolutely not what they like actually made in the army, which was like creamed chip beef on hardtack. Uh, my family did like mashed potatoes with hamburger gravy or noodles with hamburger gravy. And to this day, it's one of my favorite things in the world. Bonus, if you had canned corn on the side, you could mix in and make like some sort of strange amalgamation, just spoon into your face hole. I'm all about it. It was like Hamburger Helper before they marketed that shit. It's delicious. It's quite literally like, fry up hamburger in a pan and then just add flour and stir and then milk. You leave all the grease and everything and it just makes its own gravy. It's literally almost like sausage gravy, but my mom did it with hamburger. We had cows. I don't know why else. We had pigs too, so nothing makes sense. But it was just hamburger gravy and then you just poured it over mashed potatoes or noodles and it was fucking great. It's like, and then Hamburger Helper was like, let's market that, I think. I never had Hamburger Helper till I was like in my 30s. You guys did toast? See, we never did like a toast or a hardtack or anything like that. And I to this day I've never had chip beef and I don't hear good things about it. Chip beef sounds gross. It sounds like you're trying to rehydrate beef jerky or something and with cream and that doesn't sound like a great plan to me. I'd rather be happy. Cream of mushroom, ground beef, mashed potatoes, toast? Really? See, I love this. Everybody does it different, but we all know exactly where it came from. Like all of us had a grandpa or something in the military, right? We all know where it came from, but it's all a little different. And I don't think anybody's out there making fucking creamed chipped beef anymore unless you were the person in the military because like maybe nostalgia. I don't know why you would do that to yourself. Sure. Yep, I've never heard any. I know people who were forced to eat the chip beef as kids. I've never heard anyone say they like chip beef ever in my life. Even elderly people, like even my grandparents, they did ground beef at a certain point. I don't know if I think chip beef was just because it was dried, right? It was literally like chipped dried beef. It was light to send with the troops. I think that's literally the only reason it was there. It was like, here's some beef jerky, pour water on it. It doesn't look good. Wait, biscuits and chocolate gravy? No, like actual chocolate? Oh, leftover roast beef would be the tits. I don't think we ever did that though. We very rarely. I had 8 siblings, 3 boys. We very rarely had leftovers. Let's be real. Cow Kana was the version with port wine mixed in. Well, that's definitely it. So then yes, it had port wine in it. It must have. I'm sure some people love that shit. Just don't like stir fry it with milk and pour it onto an egg. You're not gonna have a good time. It does something weird. Hold on. At least there was a tater tot. Dude, garbage plate though. I think garbage plate is pretty similar to hot dish, except hot dish is like family size and garbage plate should be family size, but isn't. I think. Leftovers. Oh my god, I don't know. It's when mom fucks up dinner. IRC. SOS was one of the standard recipes from the 50s and 60s when the big food companies were pushing a ton of recipes with simple canned or boxed ingredients. Interesting. I believe it. I believe it. You can almost completely eliminate a brain with duster. Not recommended. Very tragic. A brain with duster. What? Hot dish is casserole, right? But I mean, if you've ever had a garbage plate, it's kind of like the world's worst casserole ever, but it's like it's another thing everybody makes different. So I couldn't even standardly tell you what it is, but essentially it's like take a plate and cover like half your plate in some sort of potato, usually like potato salad. The other half of your plate usually in some sort of noodle, usually macaroni salad. Yes, by that I mean the American mayonnaise-y shit. And then you put like hamburger patties and or hot dogs, grilled, it's all cooked and everything on top of that, and mustard and ketchup if you want. And then sometimes crispy onion straws. I'm missing something. I haven't had it in years. But it's like I think it's the same fucking thing. It's just like an amalgamation of food all together in one bite kind of thing. I don't know. I've looked, and a ton of family recipes were from the 50s and 60s ones with minor tweaks to make them less bad. 100%. That was absolutely most of my mom's recipes. She, like, would tweak things so it wasn't just the worst ingredients. Crispy onions are everything. I love crispy onions and potatoes, to be fair. I love them. Oh, Viata, it's one of those things where if you offered me super mayonnaise-y macaroni salad, I'd say no, please. I mean, no, thank you. No, please. But if someone said garbage plate, I'd sit on it. I'd happily drown in it. I don't know why. It's this weird, I don't know if it's like nostalgia or whatever the fuck. It's like all the feelings in your mouth at the same time is like too much and the exact perfect amount at the same time. And it's gross. It's like really good. Hot plate, right? Like whoever thought a casserole was a good idea. And yet, you want to know one of my favorite meals as a child? Motherfucking tuna casserole or hot dish, wherever you're from. The moment a recipe calls for cottage cheese, what the fuck recipe calls for cottage cheese? I don't think I've ever seen cottage cheese in a recipe before. I'm genuinely curious. I thought cottage cheese was for white women on diets, much like clear alcohol. No! Okay, Najeel, I quite literally just learned about walking tacos super fucking recently because Denver's kind of hipstery, and of course they're trying to make it a thing, and so the like sit down restaurants are selling walking tacos. Isn't it literally a Frito pie? Like it's someone just spun a Frito pie and tried to make it more expensive. That's what it looks like. But I don't know. Wait, shut up. Cottage cheese and brownies? No. Were there chunks in your brownies? I want to vomit even asking that, and I'm so sorry if you're reliving a nightmare. What? Casserole. Isn't it cassoulet? Isn't casserole like cassoulet, which means something? I can't remember. My mom was 54 years old when she learned, I told her, that lasagna has ricotta and not cottage cheese. What? No. The chunks, I cannot get over the brownies. Oh, you poor fucking soul. What? Cooked? Wait, the cottage cheese was cooked? No. I don't want that. Oh my god, no! Frozen. I don't know what to do right now. Does anyone else remember that one moment they just wanted to die? I'm just gonna state the last fucking flavor that I want my brownies to reminisce of is when milk is going bad and it has that twang. There are no fucking words. Please say that you've learned how to make good brownies and you can eat them now, because brownies are one of my favorite things in the world. Oh my god. Oh my god. No way, dude. Milk Gone Off's got a unique twang of its own. That on edge milk. Cottage cheese, it really doesn't have a flavor, but I can't imagine cooking it wouldn't intensify whatever's there and or make the weird chunky texture more prevalent, and I just don't like that or want that. I think we need to take a break. We haven't taken a break in a while, and I realize I have to pee. Ugh. Wait, it actually becomes creamy. See, I was wondering, Mike, that was the thing. I don't know. I was wondering, like, do the curds, because correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. They're like whey curds, right? Isn't that what cottage cheese is? Some brands of cottage cheese are sour, some are more mild. I did not grow up on cottage cheese, if that's apparent. My grandparents ate it. Like, they would eat it on canned pears and shit, but I was never like, ooh, yum, that. We got bikes mad because basically just taking whatever leftovers you have and cutting them up, frying it on a pan. Usually it's potatoes and some kind of meat, onions, other veggies if you have any. Some put an egg on top or mix it in. My mom does, I don't want to say my mom did something like that. She always called it goulash. I think goulash is actually a thing, like legitimately as a recipe. But goulash was basically like, well, we've got meat and some vegetables and a noodle or some sort of starch in the fridge. And it all goes in the same pan. Sometimes you put like tomato sauce or like canned tomatoes in it or something like that. McTaggart, your body, boo. Drink some water. Drink some water, eat a snack, and lay down. Have a good nap. Curds also melt when cooked. It's cheese. See, I don't cook enough. I've never ever dealt with cottage cheese. But it seemed different because like there's mozzarella, right? Mozzarella is also, I mean, a ball of rubbery cheese in a fucking fluid. Usually, like good mozzarella is usually like floating in fluid, right? Whereas just from what I remember, cottage cheese, it seems more, and this is so gross and I'm so sorry. The fluid seems more syrupy and like cottage cheese like crumbles. It doesn't stretch or break like mozzarella. So because of that, I just don't know if they like there are some cheeses that just straight up won't like melt traditionally or whatever. I don't know if it was that kind of cheese that would dissolve, cuz you know how like I watched this guy do this YouTube video ages ago where he made grilled cheese sandwiches out of a million different cheeses. And there's a lot of cheeses that when heat's applied, they dissolve. Like they don't just melt, they completely dissolve. And I wasn't sure if cottage cheese was like that. Like you can't generalize with cheese. Cheeses do all sorts of things depending on, and then if we throw in Velveeta, like God forbid. The original goulash is also very diverse. Only staples are basically beef, potatoes. Other than that, everyone makes it differently. That's what my mom always told us too, because it was always different every time we eat it, but it was delicious. The consistency was, it was usually like a noodle and tomato based thing, but there'd be like fried potatoes in there, onions, peppers, And it was just, I think we ate a lot of like big pot one pot meals because so many people to feed. It'd be just these massive, and it was great. Great grandma was a terrible cook. Multiple relatives threatened to stay home if they found out she made the food. The brownie was the catalyst. That's amazing. I love that. I think my Nana was a good cook at one point. I have tried borscht and I didn't hate it at all. I thought I would. I've uh I've I've consumed beet juice. I don't hate beets. I actually grew up eating a lot of pickled beets. A lot of pickled shit. I still love pickled stuff, but pickled beets are not my favorite. But I grew up eating a lot of that, so I'm not like averse to that, but I thought like a hot bowl of, or I think borscht is actually traditionally served like cool or room temperature or whatever, but a bowl of like what was hot beets freaked me out. It was really good. I didn't hate it at all. It's really tasty, really savory. It does not just taste like a fucking like, I thought it was gonna be legitimately like a juiced beet, you know? It is not a juiced beet. I may or may not have eaten an entire 1 pound package of mozzarella in one sitting in college. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Again, intelligent people have chat that cook a lot. Cheese curds, and I mean the squeakers, the real ones, are they very far off from mozzarella? Because I've definitely eaten pounds of those squeaky cheese curds at a time and wanted to die. So, like, samesies if so. I want to say they're similar. Probably not exactly the same. Nothing's exactly the same, but it's like a similar thing, right? Because they're kind of like gummy and stretchy, and when you melt it on poutine, it stretches. Is it mozzarella? Are cheese curds mozzarella? Are cheese curds dry cottage cheese? What are all these curded products? Quick break. Teach me while I'm gone. I gotta pee. It's like an octopus tentacle, which is arguably creepier. This mix is brand new. Mystified. This one just dropped very recently. Someone gave it to me. Or was it the last one or this one? I think this one was pretty recently. I think this one I got from Sheepy, maybe? I want to say it was recent, but recent to me could be 5 years. I don't know anymore. I'm trying to look. Get the fuck Spotify. Stop it. It doesn't say. You give me nothing. Although it's been listened to a million times, so it can't be that new. The last one. Oh, yeah, that one's definitely from Sheepy. That one was Cypress Hill with DJ Muggs. It's from 2023. It is new. I'm not that bad. Whoa! Yeah. It's Hits from the Bong featuring DJ Muggs 2023 mix. So it is relatively new. But yeah, Sheepy threw that one into my. Yeah, I really like it. Yes, I have the Yoda thing up too. Yep. That one was one that didn't crash. Thank fuck. I don't know the rhyme or reason to why some of them decide to fail on me. I also have one that I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm excited. It's the, questionable content is my favorite. I'm always surprised. Like, there are some moments where I look at the things you guys send me, I'm like, should I play that? And I almost always say yes to myself because it's always funny. Like, almost always funny. Dude, ours has two, and I think it's the wind. I don't think that's why shit's crashing on my side, but the wind does fuck with my internet. I totally get that. Every time it's violently windy the way it's been lately, I'm like, oh, can we just not? As Papa Roach, this song was so obscenely over fucking played. Personal hell, I just hate it so much. It's not a bad song. Yeah, it's one of those that I couldn't. Oh my god, When the Bodies Hit the Floor by who sang that? Why can't I remember the bands? What? Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. That one. You win. I vote that. That's what I vote. My soap I got from my bathroom smells so good. I can't stop smelling my fingers. That. Yep, that one. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Drowning Pool. Drowning Pool. Thank you. I used to listen to them all the time. That was bothering me that I couldn't remember them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jump around. I mean, and if we want to go a completely different direction, what's that? The bum 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 ba-dum. That would have been pretty funny in my opinion. It's like America's what's that stupid like clowny music they use in Britain all the time when people chase each other? In Fast Forward. Oh my god, I'm just blanking on it. You know the one. Shining Star. Yeah, that Benny Hill. Yeah, it's like America's Benny Hill. Ba, 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 da. That would have been pretty good. I would have been into that. I used to do this for karaoke. Hold on. Ironic by Alanis Morissette would have been pretty good. You Ought to Know, although a little weird and sexual for a child. Dude, Sinner. I can hear it and feel it in my bones, and I haven't played it. What a weird sensation. The fucking amount of mixes my sister and I made that had this song on it. It's gonna hit me in one of the dude, we're about to hit a nostalgia button. I almost guarantee most of you haven't heard this song in many, many years. 1 second. I'm gonna get it. I haven't heard this song in probably 20 years, but I know it. And I've got, like, that weird, like, electricity in my shoulders, like, "Are you 16? What's happening?" Weird. Hold on, there's a Leah. I think we have to kill him. Like, no harm intended, it's just the rules. Yeah. Sick. Glad I'm not the only one that heard that. Thank you. Sorry about your luck, bro. Hold on. I don't know what order I pulled these in, but I think I don't know. We gather 2 weeks for the hunt. Yes. At dawn we ride. Someone light the torches. The ears are for your resting ankles. I'm done. Like, the dark side was pretty good. I've never heard that before. That's fucking hilarious. Hold on, actually, let me see. Stop. I didn't get it. I must have fucked on this one. That was me. I pulled it. I got it now. It's a pain in the fuck. And I can't imagine, like, the only reason it stays rolled out is it kind of sticks to whatever you're rolling it onto. I can't imagine if you cut it into strips, it would immediately just start to be like, like a ribbon, you know? Oh yeah, I'd get sick as fuck from that. I'd still eat it. I never eat food that rich, let alone the actual ingredients. Every time I try to use a rolling pin, I feel like I'm doing it wrong. You know what's crazy? There really is kind of a science to using a rolling pin. I always thought it was just do it. But I just, watching cooking shows and TV, like, there's definitely a method to the madness. Guanciale. Guanciale. I really liked it. Should we hear him say that again one more time? Hold on. Nope, stop it. No. I can't do it. But he's so precious and so heartwarming and so positive and so uplifting. Like, I feel like I could go make pasta carbonara right now with everything I have in my kitchen. And I very rarely feel like cooking or being in my kitchen or eating. He deserves a knife. I'm gonna go to his. Hold on. 2.1 million likes. No one's got this little fucker a knife. Go follow the Italian foodie. Someone will get this poor man a knife. My lowly Misen knife? I don't know what that is. Misen? 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 I don't know what that is. I don't know anything about anything when it comes to knives and shit like that. Honestly, one of my good friends, Penis, Ice Phoenix, he is a chef who, like, specializes in his knife skills. And every time I need to buy a knife or I want to buy a knife as a gift, I'm just like, hey, Penis, tell me about them sharp food sticks. And he's like, here's a link. And I'm like, thanks. And then they work. But I couldn't tell you. Oh, they're fancy? Then they're not lowly. I mean, honestly, like, you guys know me, I've said this before, but, like, I'm all about a knife that, anything really, that if it's kind of expensive but worth it and it's gonna last the rest of my life, fucking A. And I think that's the way it is with a lot of nicer knives, if you know what you're looking for. I think Henkel's used to be that way, but correct me if I'm wrong, I think Henkel's in the US might actually be made in the US now. Like, I think that used to be a really good brand, well known, and now they're not as much. I don't remember. See, are yours, like, the American ones, though, or are they the ones that are actually from Germany? Because there's 2 different types I learned. I'm gonna save that because Zach's very much into cooking and shit like that. He would like to look at stuff like that. Misen, ooh. He loves looking I mean, he really is. He's gotten into the chef thing. Hold on, I'm gonna play this song. This is the Rez one. Ooh. Ooh, this is new. It's very blue. It's not a video or anything. Is it time check? How the fuck? Oh, it was late day. I had a sad morning. No shit though. Someone said Katie likes Limp Bizkit or whatever earlier. I woke up with the song, like, you know, some days you don't want to wake up. Everything's fucked. Everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping a movie's head off. No human contact, Bob. Like that was looping in my head. Great way to start. Mmm. Do we know Excision? It sounds familiar, but honestly, I don't know anymore. There's so many bands. I like this beat a lot. Is it loud enough for you guys? I know a lot of people, I feel like Daydream, tell me if I'm totally off base on this. There's so many knives out there that market themselves as you don't need to ever sharpen this knife. Or like I've heard my mother say, I want to find a knife I don't have to sharpen. Or I love my serrated kitchen knife because I never have to sharpen it. And I think so people just assume maybe with new knives you don't have to. Ooh, good beat. I fucking hate it's like a legendary thing in my family. My mom has this huge serrated knife. It's similar to like a bread knife, but it's really stable. It's not like wobbly. I don't even know what it's supposed to be for, but my mom uses it for everything in the entire universe. To chop vegetables, to saw meat. She saws everything with this fucking serrated knife. Every time I go to her house, she's like, "You want to help? Here's the knife." And I'm like, "You can suck your butt." No, fuck your knife. What the fuck? I'd rather use the filleting a fish knife that is in that drawer than that. Why with that serrated bullshit? You wanna know what's funny? My bio dad literally sharpened knives for a living. Like, professionally. This is how my mother lives. Ugh. Mm-mm. It's not how science works. No. It's not hard to sharpen a knife, and honestly, like one of my dogs farted at me. Oh, it's her. Bill's on the ground, she's farting at me. If you've ever, like, you know, sometimes I'll just sharpen my knives, like, I'll be, you know, cleaning the kitchen, and have washed all the knives, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm just gonna give them a good sharpen." And, oh my god, you don't think your knives are dull until you go use that sharpened knife, and you're like, "Oh, butter, I wanna cut everything, babe!" Or whatever is available, you know? Like, they're amazing. I'm gonna get a fedora and a katana and learn anime cooking neckbeard style. Honestly, I'd be pretty impressed by someone that could cook a decent meal with a fucking katana. Like a full-size katana. Way more impressed than some fucker in his backyard cutting open water bottles. Like, cool water bottle, can you slice, a bell pepper? Do you do anything useful with this? Oh, no shit, might as well let you send in the knife and get it sharpened for free. That's actually a really good deal. I've never felt uneasy. I just watched some tutorials and learned how to sharpen. I like learning the science of what you're doing to a knife when you sharpen it helped make me feel comfortable sharpening it, I guess. Like, I never knew that you're kinda, like, splitting the blade apart and then putting it back together. And if you didn't, should look up a microscopic video of what it looks like when you sharpen a knife. It's weird. But it makes make sense, and I'm not as afraid to do it. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna fuck my knife up if I know how to do it right. My IKEA bread knife is a vampire. If it so much as touches flesh, it draws blood, but boy, does it cut bread. Fuck, dude. No shame on IKEA. I got a lot of IKEA shit. I mean, no shit. The table that is my desk, I've had the entirety of my streaming career. I've had this since I started streaming almost 9 years ago, and it's just a fucking IKEA particle board. This shit will last. And I'm abusive. Let's be real. This thing has not been treated kindly. There's a reason why chefs have so many knives. Do you think so? What I've been told by people, like this is what literally what Penis told me, is that you never want to buy like a knife set. And this is probably completely different than what you're saying. Like these, you're probably talking like individually chosen knives for certain jobs. But like you know how they sell like bulk knife sets. He said never buy one because it's similar to like a set of paintbrushes or something like that, where you're inevitably going to find a favorite like subconsciously, and you're going to find a way to do everything you want to do with that one knife. Because you're just never gonna think to reach for another knife if you figure out everything to do with this one knife. Dread, that's what I got Zach for Christmas, and they are phenomenal. I got him he has 2 of them now. I got one I don't remember. You guys have told me a couple times what it's called, but it's like a rectangular cleaver type of whatever, but it's meant for like chopping and stuff like that. I think it's chopping vegetables is really what it's meant for, but it's some special penis help me. I don't know. Some special Japanese brand. It's Japanese steel and it's fucking phenomenal. It's so I mean, you guys have seen the wounds Zach and I have accidentally caused on ourselves just like existing around the knives. Like, going into the kitchen is an instance. Oftentimes, these things are dumb sharp. And then I got him another one that's basically like your quintessential chef's knife, like long, and they're great. I mean, they are so. That's what I was saying. I was talking about this earlier. Like when I was saying I'm not a huge fan of single use kitchen items. Like we have like a chopper, a dicer, I guess, where you put half a tomato and kukung and you get the diced tomato at the bottom. But I stopped using all of those because I just really enjoy using the knives. They're just everything. It doesn't exist. It's like cutting something most of the time it just feels like it doesn't exist. These knives are just so sharp. You know what I mean? It's like I get excited. I'm like, I'd rather just like, oh, it's almost like using some sort of, it's kind of like a gadget in itself in that I've just never experienced a knife that cuts so smoothly before in my life. I could slice shitty grocery store tomatoes with my katana. You'd be covered in the slime though. Do you want to be covered in tomato slime? My problem even thinking about that is that I cannot stand the feeling and sound of a whetstone. You know what's weird? It doesn't bother me, but a lot of those, like, oh, I'm not even gonna say it, but I'm thinking it and it's making my mouth water and my teeth hurt like I'm gonna vomit. But all of those sounds that are associated, most of them absolutely bother me a whole lot. Styrofoam. Ah. Burn it to the ground. Please stop fucking around with styrofoam. There's a lot of us that just want it to kill you. Oh my god, the fucking infomercials. Oh, what was that door-to-door knife sale one too? There was one too, Katie. There was a door-to-door sales company that got a lot of college kids sucked into it for a while, and I think the knives were legitimately good, but the price point was just asinine. Cutco? Cutco, I think. JJ, that's hot. I job shot a butcher at a Weston once. The amount of knives he had, I think butchering is one of those things where you have to have like legit kind of knives where you would like go through tendon and bone and sinew and shit like that. Probably you're doing a lot more than like a job in a kitchen. Like you're not just a sous chef or just a saucier or whatever. Like you are dismembering. You're a spatchcock or spatchcocker. Is that a thing? What? Shut up. Try slicing tomatoes in, oh no, 1/16th slices with a machine. I would be scared. You know what's crazy? I'd rather use these nice knives than like a mandolin, which is normally if someone was like, you have to get these super thin tomato slices, I'd be like, give me that mandolin, which is horrifying. Like mandolins are so scary. Those like pink, pink, like you're gonna get your finger. Oh, they scare me so much. But these knives, I mean, it's like, I never thought about it, but I think because they're so sharp and they just cut through everything so slickly and so fast, it's almost impossible not to get like a perfect straight line. You can cut shit so thin. It's wild. If you like cooking, invest in a good knife. Stop holding out on yourself. So worth it. I don't like cooking, but I get excited to use one of these knives because it's just every time I use it, I'm like, wow. And I'm not high when I'm getting excited. Like I don't use these knives high because I cut myself sober on them. Like they're just legitimately that exciting. They're super cool. I got the men with the pot. These guys cooking in the forest guys got most of the knives. They're amazing. I love watching like bushcraft. I don't know what else to call it, but it's either people that go out and build a house out of nothing. Like they go out in the woods, find a clearing, and they just start like cutting up dead trees and shit. Or they do like that kind of bushcraft cooking where they like hunt an animal, butcher it, show you how to make things, show you how to like dress all the meat and wrap what you're not going to use and cook what you are going to use and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it gives me nostalgia for being a kid. Like that was how I grew. Like all my uncles and my dad and everybody hunted all the time, and that was kind of how we grew up. It gives me weird homey feelings, but I also I know I say this all the time. Like I love that culture of like the hunter who gets kind of spiritual about it. I guess I don't know another word, but it's kind of the hunting I grew up around, where it's like it's not trophy hunting. It's whatever the opposite of trophy hunting is, like the polar opposite of trophy hunting, where you go and hunt an animal and you've already got a plan in your mind for every single fucking piece of that animal. Like they use the hide to carry the meat home, like all that kind of stuff. Like if you're gonna fucking kill something, like utilize it. I'm so all about that. I think that's some of the coolest shit in the world. And I feel like a lot of those guys, they do that and they are instructional on how to do that. And I don't know. I got a load of bull, I think. I'll cheers with what I've got though. Cheers and happy 420. Congrats. Is it terrible, Vex? Do you have a lot of snow? Everybody's getting slammed. I'm the only one that hasn't yet. It's just balls cold here. Like we are gonna get slammed. I can feel it in my nutsack. That it's gonna be sick. I watch the Outdoor Boys. They're fantastic. Outdoor Boys, yep, they do everything I just talked of. If they're the same ones I'm thinking of, they do like the, hike into the mountains, find a clearing, and just start building a house. But they also like do food preparation and teach you how to forage and shit like that. I don't know, man. I love watching it. I think it's so entertaining. 2 minute I'll load a bowl for Vissy's 420. If we're not there already, I thought it was 420. Blonde dude glasses. Yep. Yep. I used to really like watching Les Stroud. He's like the true survivor man or whatever. But I find these are way more, they're just like longer. They're more there's so much information in them. I just love learning that stuff, especially when they do the foraging informational stuff. It is spiritual. It is. And like they thank, it sounds corny to someone who hasn't been a part of that, myself included, but watching people like thank the animal for the sacrifice of death and then, butcher the animal and literally utilize every fucking part of it. I just feel like, man, I hope I that's the least I could hope. I mean, none of us are going to get even a modicum of that respect when we die. We ain't going to be of use unless we're donated to science, in which case I highly encourage that. I am donated to science. Donate this ass. Use me up. Heal someone with my corneas or something. I don't know. There's got to be some good parts of me. Exactly. It's like, it's just respecting that you're taking something out of the environment. You know? Being thankful of that, even if you don't say it out loud, means a lot. Not a lot, but it's windy us too. The wind is insane here. The roads are ass, but the heavy stuff has fallen for the last 3 hours. Jesus. It is. It's very much, I think, based in a Native American philosophy of just like using every single part of the animal and being appreciative of it, not stripping the land of its resources, et cetera, et cetera. Cheers. The one I enjoy is primitive technology. I follow that one too. Yep, that one's great. He started up from scratch with stone tools, built a house, learned how to make charcoal and pottery, built a house with a tiled roof and so on. Yeah, I think I've seen that channel. It sounds super fucking familiar. 4 to 5 inches, dude, we have nothing yet. I mean, just cold. Like, there's ice. When I die, spread my remains across Mar-a-Lago from a plane. Don't cremate me first. Question, because we're friends. Can I spread you out in other ways? Just to raise the chances of a hit? You know. I'm dead. I don't care. We'll consider it science. We're donating to science. Well, he doesn't have to. Like, if we drop an object of a certain mass density and has some angles from a high enough place, it could possibly go through a roof or I don't know, a window or something. My thumbnail's never good. I don't hope for it anymore. Dude, we watched so much shit today. I actually have a lot still saved. Hold on, I'm gonna clear some out that we watched. It's been all over the place, honestly. We've laughed. I woke up with the winter sads today, just like that existential dread of why even keep going on. And so we started the day with just laughing at funny animals, which was fantastic. It just kind of stemmed from there. I was looking at what we still had because I have to get my dogs out before it's fuck balls cold here. We only have a couple though. This one I kind of want to hear. This is Scary Pockets. It's one of the ones that didn't crash on me, but I think it's music. Nope, I have that one on the other one. We had a lot lined up. Fire the animal's blood under enough pressure to cut metal. Holy dick farts. That is metal in just in itself. Is that this one? This one, I just couldn't get it to load. It's just my internet. It's been going out. So if you've never gotten to watch Parks and Rec, I'm not shitting you when I say Aziz Ansari. His character is literally named Tom Haverford. Is Chris whiter than Tom? I'd arguably say they're equally super white names. Like if I had to put a race on a name, which I try to not regularly practice, but like they sound like pretty classic white people names. Thomas or a tank engine. One or the other. Haverford, on the other hand. Hi, Hev. I hope you're doing well, Honeybean. He still plays. That's pretty fucking sick. Why have the last singers been super cute? This entire channel, Vex, seriously, this channel we've been introduced to, it's called Scary Pockets. Have you ever heard of them? I literally have to sit. I have to cut us. We're way late on my time, but the sun and the weather, I have to take my dogs out. But we'll be back tomorrow and we can always do more of this. Like you were saying, you had a longer video. If you're around tomorrow, feel free to throw it. Like I have no qualms laughing and looking and talking about. Literally, someone tweeted recently and tagged me in a tweet. Someone tweeted that they were not feeling cool about what they were doing on stream lately. They weren't really feeling games, and they just wanted to smoke and talk about music all day. And someone tagged me in the tweet and was like, I mean, this is the most respectful way possible, but like, go the way of ClassyKatie in better words than I'm saying right now, but something like that. And I was like, bitch, join us. We're living our best life. Talking about music, listening to dope music, and smoking pot and just hanging out all day. Like, it's the fucking dream. I think it was Speth. Yeah. Yeah. It's the fucking dream. Do you only like round headphones? If not, have you heard the new Dan Clark Audio E3s? I have not ever worn a Dan Clark. So I've never found an oval can that doesn't make my jaw start to ache. That's like the biggest thing. It's really, really hard because the like vast majority of audiophiles in the world that make any sort of content on the internet reviewing headphones or whatever are men with big man head and big men ears. So they can wear, I feel like you guys get away with oval cans a lot easier. I've noticed if I have anything bigger than this at all, like anything longer, it sits on my jawbone. And within a couple hours, my whole jaw just starts to like pulse and ache. It's horrible. So yeah, like these, and then if I had to, these and any of the Bayer Dynamics are my favorite headphones I've ever worn, and they're all circle. But yeah, I'm trying to think of it's Sennheiser. They make a lot of like more oblong cans that go at this angle. And I don't know if it's like, I don't have a small head. Like I feel like I have a pretty normal size head. But see how this one cuts off right there? Any of them, if they go down any more, they just sit on this bone. And it's like, I don't even notice it when I first put them on. It's like after time, you just start to get this dull ache. And I'm like, the fuck? Why is my headphone on my face? I just don't have big enough side head, I guess. But yeah, I've found like I have my corpse wall of headphones over there, and I find the same issue with like on ear. I guess you would call them, like these are over ear encasing the entire ear, but there's on ear cans, and I don't know. I think this is theoretically why I can't wear them. I have a lot of on ear cans that I've tried in my life. My ears are not like bendy. Like I say this because I've known some people that literally like they can fold their entire ear like into their ear. I have like hard ears, I guess. And on ear cans give me a head like an ear like the same thing, just like this dull ache. No, it doesn't feel good. I mean, and those ones feel bad from the first moment. I have some V Modas that were on ears and they're True Blood themed and they were super cute. They had like a blood vial hanging off them. Super uncomfortable from day one. And then what are the other ones that's on ear? I can't. Oh, they're Sony. They're like a nice set of Sonys. I do not remember the model. Those were on ears though, and they were relatively comfortable. They were like memory foam. But you just start to get a weird dull ache, like, in your ear, like, in your head. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I don't like them. I like it to just be my ear, but these, like, fit my ear exactly. Like, it's not that big of a space on the inside because 'cause you've got all this foam. It's, like, one. Doesn't touch any other parts, and I don't know if that's just small face side. I think I have a normal head, I don't know, but I've never heard of anyone else having that issue where they get a weird jike, and I've even like, you try to jack this up all the way and it still does it because it's that shape it's the shape of them or maybe the tilt, because some of them have the oblong can that's, like, tilted. I don't know. Weird face. I know, they know what time it is. She's been farting at me all day. She's napping. Hold on. Oh, my cutting board's in the way of her face. She's pretty sweet. She's just asleep behind me waiting. I kinda got big ears. Yeah, if you have big ears, 100% go for oval cans. Because like, I don't. I think I have relatively small ears, aside from my little gagey, and these are exact. I mean, like, there ain't no more space for ear in these cans. I don't see how someone with big ears would like these in any way, shape, or form. They'd be uncomfortable. Like, your ear would be, like, either pressed down by the pad or folded up in there. I don't know. Oh, and I tried oh my god, there was another pair of V-Motos that literally would shock me. Oh god. So, like, you know how you have your drivers in there? So there was an exposed screen like this, like exposed metal, but the pad was so thin that it would touch your ear. And I mean, it was like every 30 minutes, so it'd catch you off guard. You get this like like an electric shock in your inner ear. And I went on Amazon and was like, what in the sin fuck? So many reviews said the same thing. It wasn't just me. It was everybody was like, yeah, you get an electrical shock in your ear from these. What the fuck? Dude, I can't tell you a more unsettling feeling than like a zap on your eardrum. That's what it feels like. And it's just because some part, I think it's this part of your ear right here, that like little stick outy part, whatever that is, that would just very, very gently graze that inner can engine once the foam started to, compress on your head after an hour of wearing them. So you'd get real comfortable and feel real safe and then get this through your fucking head. Nah, dude. I returned those. That was a terrible time. I've tried a lot of headphones. These are the most comfortable, but honestly, I can't wear them all the time because they'll give me migraines. That's why I have my wonderful IEMs. Nice cans, Katie. Honestly, if someone said that to me while I was wearing these, I would 100% assume the headphones just because of what they are. I wouldn't even assume. Also, I have tiny boobs. Let's be honest. We all know this. I had that happen with one of my controllers on my PC. Ugh! Having have an Elite so it has metal parts, switch to a different USB port and fixed it. Smart of you to switch, but that's scary. I don't like, especially when things that are plugged in shock me. I'm like, oh fuck. Speaking of, oh my god. You know how I told you I'm like on subreddits and shit where people post people doing stupid things like dancing near their toddler who just went through surgery or dancing near dead grandma, etc., etc. I shit you not. The 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 fact that some people in this world think, "Oh my god, I'm in danger," record it, edit it, and put it on TikTok and wait for an answer before I do anything is wild to me. But I saw one this morning. This will be less. Because I gotta walk my dogs before I fucking lose the light. I shit you not. It was a video of a pair of scissors stuck in an outlet in the wall. And it was the video, the mom going, "Oh, my toddler just put scissors in the wall. What do I do? Do I just pull them out?" And they were literally smoking, like the outlet in the wall was smoking up the wall. This person has a toddler they've bred and they've added to the population. Help. Help. Help me. And like, I'm not judging the fear of touching some scissors plugged into the wall. I'm judging the let's film it, edit it, and put it on TikTok and not do anything while it's like borderline on fire. What's happening? It was a rubber handled scissors too. Like, I'm not saying anyone would assume like hit it with a handle of a broom or something, but like it was. It was like skizzers. Arctics. Oh god, have I tried Arctics? That sounds really familiar. I feel like I've tried them before. I don't know if they're on my wall though. I've got Sennheisers, I've got ATs, I've got V-Modas, Bear Dynamics, Sony. I don't know what that one is. I think that's another V-Moda. And then we've got a couple Shure sets. Zach's set is the, oh God, what does he use? Oh, it's like one of the most common headphones that people wear. I'm just blanking on it. You guys probably know. He wears it. They're really nice. I cannot remember. Fuck. We have a lot though. I mean, a lot of them are broken because Zach's violent, but a lot of them are me trying out headphones. I'd get yelled at for using mom scissors. She said, me, oh my God. Do you want some PTSD? Do you have my scissors? Put them down. Did you use those on paper? Did you use my scissors on paper? I'll know. Look me in the eye and tell me you didn't use them. Mom will know. I've turned into that. If I hear, like, I run into the room just to make sure these aren't in Zach's hand. It's real, though. Anybody that sews understands a nice pair of Gingers is like these are hundreds of dollars. And Ginger's one of those brands where I can send these in and get these sharpened and spruced up for the rest of my existence, similar to your knives. Like, you don't fuck with my fucking scissors. Are you kidding? You fuck with my scissors, I'ma fuck with you with my scissors. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. Precious. I'm not kidding you. I bought a pair. This is insane. This is what the insanity, because I get it now. I bought a pair of decoy scissors that look exactly like this, gold handle and all, just to lay around the house so that these don't get found. It's sick, but like, don't fuck with my scissors. You could have my scissors, I cut your nuts. No shit though. They're so expensive. And a nice pair of scissors, like it's what's crazy is you don't want to use them on things that aren't fabric because they break down so insanely fast used on paper or something. So technically they're like super expensive scissors that aren't that hardy, but they are like butter on fabric and they will stay sharp forever if you only use them on fabric. And the way we know you use them on something else. Do you hear that? That's a bust in the blade from some fucker cutting through a zip tie with my sewing scissors. You want to know how he got those scars? It's right there. Right there. Motherfuck. Yeah, they're just really expensive. And now they're fucked. You can't do anything about it. It's like a missing chunk of metal. And like, you look at like a big honking pair of scissors that arguably weighs like a pound, if not a little bit more. And you would think like, yeah, I can cut through a zip tie with those. And the zip tie took a chunk of the blade out. It's great. We're having a great time. Anyways, I need to go walk my dogs. But don't fuck with your mom's scissors, kids. She knows how to use them. Kai, I've never used them before. Honestly, like this was my investment scissors, and I kind of went through life assuming I'd never have to replace them, and now I just can't replace them, so here I am. Kai's pretty great, though. I've heard good things. If he's allowed to use the decoy player, what happens when he picks up the real ones by accident? He'll never find the real ones because, like, I don't like to gender behavior, but I don't know how else to word this. He's a man, therefore, babe, have you seen blank? Means I haven't opened the drawer, the cupboard, or my eyes that are within 3 feet of me. Please come do that for me. So all I have to do is literally just put these in a drawer and they will quite literally never be found. Does that, like, he's just that kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, he'd walk in, like, baby, do you know where the scissors are? And I'd be like, no. You know? I don't know. It's crazy. I love it. I laugh at it. Like, it's hilarious, but they'll never be found. I just have to put them in a drawer. That's it. They'll never be found. And they haven't been. At all. The mom fourth dimensional space powers, 100%. I mean, especially when it comes to something I invested in. It's not all men. That's what I mean. I've seen memes about it where it's like, man's, whatever. I hate gendering behavior like that. It's just some people. I'm sure I do it too. I know I do it all the time. How many times on stream have I been like, where the fuck is my grinder? Oh my God, I bet it's right in front of me. Where the fuck? Okay, guys, let's never talk about this again. This is self-call out. Object permanence. Exactly. Exactly. Can't do it. It's gone. And it's literally because, like, where my mic is right here blocks 1 inch of my desk, which is exactly where I push my grinder. So if I just put it, I don't know why I instinctually put it there. It's just immediately out of my vision all day. So I'm like, where the fuck is it? And the more I lean forward, the more the mic covers up all the space that it's in. Ah! Object permanence, man. I'm just pointing out the obvious. We all have it. It's just like, use it to your advantage, you know? Like, if you want to hide something from your partner who also has object permanence, buy a decoy, make sure that one's obvious, put the other thing in a drawer, it'll never be found. We lose our own shit. Come on. It's ADHD, probably. I don't know. I hate blaming everything on ADHD, but like maybe. It is me. It's me too. Hards. Oh my God, Sequarion. I'm not kidding you. I've been on the phone actively with my mother and said the words, Mom, I can't find my fucking phone and I'm about to scream. And my mom replied, honey. And we both just sat in dead fucking silence for I couldn't tell you I blacked out. Hard. Like, have your glasses on your head. Where the fuck are my glasses? Or they're on. That's my favorite. They're literally on your face. Where are they? Yeah, we all have it. It's just like, use it to your advantage in a non-harmful way. He has scissors. He doesn't mean to use my scissors. He doesn't need my scissors to cut fucking parchment paper. He just has ADHD, and when he's on a mission, his brain goes, scissors, 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 ooh, scissors, 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 set down, scissors, scissors. So it's like, I know it's not malicious. He's not looking for my scissors. I just got to put out the decoy. You know? Cheers. I need to go walk my dogs. He's been standing there, sitting there staring at me for like 15 minutes. I can see him in my prefs. He's like, all those stories about like the black dog. Car keys. Dude, have you ever literally gotten in your car and sat down and you're like, okay, purse, phone, everything. Your car is on. And you're like, where the fuck are my keys? And you literally get out of your car while it's on and run in the house to try to find your keys that are in the ignition of your car because it's on. Back when cars had ignitions. Hard same. Hard same. Are you waiting for me, Bubba? Come say hi. Come say hi while we find someone to raid, yeah, Bubba? Yeah, my sweet void boy. Hi, Catboy. I hope you're doing well, honeybean. I've searched my entire desk for the light that was in my hand. Yeah. I do not have a car I put a key into anymore. Which is weird, because I definitely have a key to it. I had a car that you could pull the keys out while it was running. So that was a legit concern. That is a legit concern. It would stay on. I love Deftones. Absolutely. We actually watched someone recently who does amazing, like Deftones covers, I guess you would say. They were super fucking impressive. Not covers. He sings songs, various songs in the style of Deftones, and it was really, really well done. Yeah, mine has a key hidden in the fob too, and I think it's for the doors, but I don't even know if there's an ignition actually in my car. It's literally a button. It's a truck. It's a Jeep. Mine does. Yeah, my fob. I think all fobs have to, in case the battery runs out so you can get into your car. I think they have to have a key in them, don't they? I used to pull them out and hand them to my passenger while flying. Oh my God. I would have thrown them in your face and got us in a true accident out of fear. Oh my God, you asshats. Oh my god, Catboy. I still yell, just not as much. Dude, the screaming though. I'm sure there's some people who don't miss that in any way, shape, or form. You have no key, no shit. Mine'll flip a key out of it. It's got like a secret one on the inside. Weird. Interesting. Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna raid Zach because he's playing. I mean, I think one of, if not the first PC game I ever witnessed or played in my entire life. And I bitch about it a lot here on the stream. Or I use it as an example for like, you know, how we're very spoiled these days. How like you can just Google a walkthrough and most games give you a mini map and tell you how to get through the game and whatever. He's playing motherfucking King's Quest, which is the quintessential game of that desert. You know the desert, where if you take one wrong goddamn turn, you either die to a scorpion or you just have to save scum. I mean, the game is like defined by save scumming. It's one of I know. What's crazy is I played these. I viscerally remember playing these as a kid and beating them. How did we have the patience? Because they were like, you know, hard fail games. Like you click one way and you're done. There's no way to go back. You got to just restart. How did we have that patience? Crazy, but the nostalgia of it's really exciting. And he's actually on the part where it's the mom in the desert. Oh my god. Okay, I got to go walk my dogs, but I'll be on mobile listening. The nostalgia of CD-ROM-a-thon. Are you licking my... Good thing I use aluminum free. You know what? He's licking my pit and he's literally going to go lick his dad's face. And I find that quite funny. Don't tell him. Um, let's raid your father, yeah? And then we'll go outside and be freezing and die together. My sweet, sweet boy. My mic is making it so no one can see your precious punum. Look at that sweet boy face. You're getting groomed in a couple days, and I am stoked. Oh my god, your eye. We're gonna get that eye bug. We're gonna get it. We got it. No, you can't eat it. He always tries to eat the eye bug out of my hand. Fucking sicko. All right, my dudes. Thank you for hanging out with me today. It took a lot for me to like be like, you know what? I had to like convince I don't know why, because I like my inner self knows that, you know, sitting alone with the sads all day in silence and having nothing but your own company to keep is never a good idea. Especially when you have the option to just like chill out and laugh and listen to some good music with good people and smoke. But for some reason, even though I know that in my heart of hearts, it's always like a constant battle in my brain to get myself to do it when I wake up with the sads. I'm just drowned. I'm just down here because the mic's down here. I'm not wilting. I just want to say I love you fuckers in the sappy saps. And I appreciate you for hanging out with me even when I'm not the most energetic or maybe most entertaining human in the world. Everybody's human. Everybody has a shit day, man. Even me. And sometimes I just wake up kind of like, you know what? Winter sucks. Some days you just want to wake up. Everything is fucked and everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you'd like to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact. Because if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of them days. It's all about that he said, she said bullshit. Take your joy. I love you. Bye.